we are live again for another week of Polyhedra Plays Odyssey of the Dragonlords. Hey everybody, I hope you guys are doing well. We are super excited. I am super excited because a lot of stuff is happening, as you guys, for those of you that have been watching along know. There might be some PCs on the line. There might be, well, as you can probably tell, a new PC that is going to temporarily join us today. That is actually one of the announcements. We are going to be having a guest character. So if you guys wouldn't mind welcoming Ephraim. Everybody say hi, Ephraim.
Hi, Ephraim.
All right, now tell us two truths and a lie, but I'm just kidding. No icebreakers, we're gonna do that live. Fuck it, we're doing it live. As we are delving back in, I am particularly excited to also announce that we're going to be doing our PvP tomorrow. So that is going to be our two streaming groups that are going to be going up against each other. We ended up, I love how every single time I see Andrew take a swig from that bottle, I can't help but to think that's 100% just vodka. He just has a full gallon, just like a full quart of vodka in there, and he's just
You're
like...
not supposed to be telling the internet my secrets, dude.
Even though Alex, like the look he had on his eyes is like, no, this is actually vodka. But yeah, so wait, let me pull up my announcements again. Ooh, why do I always do this? But here we go. So I'm super excited for it because we're going to be seeing these people at level 10 power level, which is going to be super, super exciting. A little bit of a sneak peek of sorts of what these people can do. Now, the three people that are going to be on the PvP there, oh my god, are going to be Brian playing Rodus, Tyler playing Lyra, and finally Alex playing Brissa. Do you guys want to give little reveals on what the most fun thing is going to be looking forward to in that heavyweight fight tomorrow?
Alex doesn't have anything to look forward to.
Nothing at all. Mine's super boring. It's just gonna be. There's nothing really happening. So
what starts with a D and ends with a Ragan? Oh my god, we're gonna see some fun stuff there. Lyra, what do you think is gonna be the most amazing thing that you're gonna show off tomorrow? Now, don't give away your best badass card.
I think she is gonna be more suited to not have to stay away from everything that's trying to kill her.
Ooh, that's gonna be interesting. It's a little tease, but not giving it away completely. I like it. Rodus, I have a feeling. I've got a feel it's gonna be including a lot of you getting real up close and punching people real hard with a double-handed weapon in one hand. Is that a fair assessment?
If you want to see a barbarian rage and be played, pretty much all of the coolest things are just written right there in the subclass. So just read the subclass, and it'll make you want to watch it.
These guys obviously are keeping their hands close to their chest. This is going to be interesting. I know that the Curse of Strahd group has been feverishly trying to well, that's not true, but they've been working on plans and stuff like that. A couple questions asked here and there. I am excited. I am so excited to run this tomorrow. Well, really,
we need to plan more.
We've played not enough.
You guys are like, we have really powerful
You're missing the point.
subclasses.
David's excited because it's PvP. All he has to do is give you an arena and then adjudicate things. He doesn't have to actually come up with anything.
It's beautiful. That's not totally true. This arena is gonna fuck with you guys, and that is what I'm excited about.
The arena.
Mm-hmm. So that is something that you guys get to look forward to tomorrow. That's going to be at 7 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. Let me write that in chat too. Of course, none of that wrote. At 7 p.m. MDT. Friday. What date is tomorrow? 4/16.
The 16th, yeah.
All right, cool. Tune in for that. It's going to be fun. The other thing that I want to announce, and this is going to be something that we'll figure out the details between now and tomorrow, I 100% promise, is going to be there will be a giveaway. One of the members of the community will give his first name only. Well, maybe he wants to remain anonymous. Well, they, cat's out of the bag on that one, gave us a wonderful donation to be giving out to the rest of the community in a little bit of a prize. And I'm super excited. It's going to be something that we're going to be giving away. That's going to happen during the stream tomorrow, so definitely be sure to tune in during tomorrow's stream because it's going to be tied to that. So super excited for that personally. That said, the other thing that I'm excited to announce is, of course, the layout. Now, you guys see these wonderfully excited faces. You see these faces that listen to my announcements every single day. But you definitely will notice that we are trying to focus a little bit more onto the players, especially during the role play. This is what you guys are going to see. Now, during the combat, it's going to look a little bit different. And let me see if I can live preview this without everything breaking. This is what it's going to look like during the combat. We're going to keep tweaking this to make it
Where'd
look
everybody
perfect.
go? What happened?
I'm
fucking with you.
Where are you guys? But that is going to be our setup from here on out as far as combat versus RP stuff goes. So going back towards the RP, that is what we're going to do so you guys can actually see the minutia, see the facials, especially with this campaign that has fantastic, phenomenally acted out of roleplay moments. Okay. Just it's so nice to see someone up close, and I wholeheartedly believe that. So I'm excited for the new thing. That is all thanks to this way these guys suggesting, hey, why don't we redo some of that layout to make it look a little bit nicer. And the minimalist and my wife obviously suggested doing something that is minimal as possible. But that is that. The other thing that I wanted to throw out is if you guys are looking to join a campaign much like this one, this is the pitch, head on on the top right of your screen, you'll see www.polyhedra.io. There is a join a campaign.
Right above Andrew's head.
Right above Andrew's. Oh, it's like a little hey, it's like a little halo for him. If you guys want to join a campaign like this, head on over there, write your information to us. We'll reach out to you as soon as we can and hopefully match you with a fantastic DM that is going to run a campaign much like this one. But that is it from me. Did you guys have any other announcements that you guys wanted to get off your chest before we go back into today? We're gonna kill sorry.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to give a shout out for another stream that started a few weeks ago on the Dungeons and Dragons official Twitch and YouTube. It's called Black Dice Society. They're doing a Ravenloft campaign. B. Dave Walters is the GM, and he's pretty fantastic. And there's some definitely recognizable names in the cast if you're at all into the geek world. Becca Scott, Sage Ryan, Mark Meir, who was the voice of the male Captain Shepard in the Mass Effect games, is in it, and he's pretty awesome. I was a big fan of Mass Effect. Unfortunately, Jen Hale, FemShep, is not in it, but hey, maybe someday, who knows. But yeah, I'm gonna put the link to the first episode.
Off. They completely missed out on that.
There's a link in chat to the first episode. Go check it out. It's really pretty cool, and they air live about 3 hours before we start on Thursdays. So the what is, I believe, the 4th episode is wrapping up probably right about now.
Awesome. So what you're saying is they're going to rate us here with like 1,000 people here in a minute, right?
That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
My question would be, is that his favorite campaign in the Citadel?
Oh my god, there you go.
You know, that was one of my thoughts.
It.
Was is there going to be a marketplace scene at some point? And he just goes, "This is my favorite shop in the market." You know, it's like that'd be awesome.
If you guys haven't noticed yet, Ephraim is a king when it comes to the puns. So I'm gonna cap him tonight at 3. He has to pick the 3 best moments. I'm just kidding. You guys need to get the full Ephraim. I think in the other campaign, I'm gonna cap you at 3 per session. So you're gonna have to pick the best ones. It's gonna be good. But tonight, you guys are gonna get full frontal.
They're gonna
Ephraim.
be long nights.
No, because everyone over the cap reduces your maximum hit points by 1. So
I'm gonna go through so many characters.
He's gonna run around with 2 max HP at the end of every session. Alrighty, I think this is enough delaying. At this point, we need to find out what happened to Lyra. We need to find out what the hell is happening to Crane and Rhodus, as we are going to dive back into tonight's session of Polyhedra Plays Odyssey of the Dragonlords. Alrighty guys, previously, you guys had traveled to the city of Astoria and met a multitude of different people there. At this point, you have gotten your count of deities in the flesh up to 3. You have met, actually 4. You have met Valis, you have met Kyra, you have met Pitor, and you have met Vulcan. All 4 of the gods in one way or another. You know, Vulcan, the father of the other 3 gods that were just named, is working as a dwarven smith within the Hall of Vulcan within the city of Astoria. Pitor, meanwhile, the father of Rhodus, the barbarian Herculean demigod, has had a little bit of a rough time at it. It seems that his natural proclivity for war, combat, and heroism has been somewhat damped by the fact that during the Oath of Peace, the magically binding promise that was made between the Titans and the gods, he can no longer strike out against those that he would most like to do that. More specifically, against the ones who now have his daughter, Anora, under their clutches. You guys had traveled to the Temple of Pitor, got to meet the man in the flesh, including vomiting into a little bit of a pool ahead of his feet, and were able to get him to sobriety so that you guys could actually talk to him about what has befallen his story, what has befallen him, and what you as the Chosen or the Light of Thylea are possibly able to do for him now. You guys were able to come up with a crafty plan, trying to make promises in the form of a magically godly binding oath that you guys wanted to cleverly word in a way that you guys would be able to somehow get out of. You said that Rhodus would take the place of his sister, Anora. Instead of her being sacrificed in the honor of the god Sidon at the rock, or, wherever they were going to sacrifice her, Rhodus was going to be now led to the rock of Estor, where there have been some sacrifices of oxen and the like been made to the creatures that seem to frequent that river, including basilisks. Well, at first, Commander Gaius, the commander of General Gaius, the commander of the forces that are currently in a massive tent city, essentially just outside of the northern gates of Astoria, and threatening it to be overrun, completely said no, this is not going to happen. But as he realized who he was talking to, and as you guys realized that this was a man who had already summoned forth creatures to attack you guys while you were at an outpost trying to make your way to the Temple of the Oracle, you guys were able to strike a deal. He agreed and walked off with his centaur general at his side. You guys prepared a little bit, and Lyra and Kyra in the morning started flying northward towards the camp of the centaurs. Meanwhile, the rest of you guys started exploring the embankment, where there's that small shrine to Sidon, as well as a small island upon which the offerings to Sidon are usually tied up so that the creatures, the basculins and whatnot, could feed upon those things, the offerings. Now, as Lyra and Kyra traveled northward, you guys watched as hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tents were set up. Thousands of centaurs and other creatures that are part of Sidon's army were just walking about it. Lyra, you used your Mask of Many Faces, using Disguise Self to get yourself into the camp, getting into a skill challenge, being able to weasel your way into the tent of General Gaius. You told him that the Group A received the Hammer of Pitor, a magical artifact that Vulcan had told you guys was necessary to craft new legendary weapons befit for Dragonlords in the Mithril Forges in the Mithril Mountains. But you also told him that your group was planning to somehow bewitch the way that the oath was going to work. Not having to make a check for this one, but still leaving, you ended up quickly trying to get out of the tent for your true goal, which was to cast suggestion upon one of the vanguard that was going to be going with the general back to Astoria the next day, or later that evening to be precise. You were able to get the suggestion off, suggesting to the individual that they kick off a little bit of hell and warfare before Rhodus was able to make it to the rock, therefore breaking the oath that Gaius had given you guys. Well, in the process, you had heard that there was a massive breathing coming from the central tent, and as that, a dragon, silvery of scale, busted out of the flap of the side of the tent and started rushing towards you. Meanwhile, the rest of the group had decided to pick out the little shrine to Sidon in the place of sacrifice, the Rock of Estor. And towards the end of that, as you guys moved around the map, got a little bit of a nice feel, splashed your feet wet a little bit, Crane was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a splash. And as she went splish splash and was having a blast, suddenly you guys saw the spiny ridges of 2 lizards going about. And that is where we're gonna pick it up again this week. As the first thing that we're going to do is the combat, my friends. With that, we're going to be switching over.
That's going to do Tyler's forming ulcer even more good.
Oh yeah. as a DM, you just gotta milk that stuff for what it's worth. All right, let me get the audio queued up, and we need something.
I also realized after the session ended, I told no one. I told nobody where I was going.
Yeah. Oh man.
I said nothing. I just left.
Nothing.
Bye.
You have Kyra with you, so
That's all you need, right?
yeah. You got a god on your side. You're good.
Love is all you need.
Love is all you need.
What do I know?
Trying to get the audio to work without blowing our eardrums, but it might anyway. It's building up to it. There we go. All right, cool. First things first, let me get everyone added to initiative, and once we have that set, we're actually going to also not what I wanted to do. Now, before we're fully going into this, we're actually going to start off with a little bit of a different lead into battle this time around. For as we are trying to get into it, we're actually going to have a little bit of a separate moment. Now, Minos, you've been walking through the streets of Astoria for some days now. Your little helper at your side, your chakrams securely attached to your belts. And that is when you've heard, over the few days that you've spent in Astoria now, that Nora has been kidnapped and is going to be sacrificed by Sidon's lackeys. You've heard about the centaurs starting to just become almost a nuisance and deadly threat to Astoria to the north there. And as all of that is happening, you now have heard of a group named the Light of Thylea. As you watch and kind of see some of them pass by you, you see an interesting amalgamation of different individuals from all walks of life of Thylea. Now, as you have followed them out of curiosity, your little buddy nibbling kind of like at your neck every once in a while, you stand there on the edge and you see them kind of talk towards each other, making plans. You see Rhodas kind of stretching upon the central island that is the Rock of Estor, and Crane taking a little bit of a bath as the rocky ridges of the Basilisk start showing through, and you know, now might be a good time to strike, especially if you have these chosen ones on your side, these Light of Thylea. And as you step up, you guys, the rest of you guys, see a tall figure. Now, Ephraim, would you like to describe what your character looks like?
Absolutely. Minos is a tanned, but not brown, just sort of like that buck leather tan, head to toe, with an over-groomed sort of tuft of hair around his face. He's got a ring through his nose. He's got a couple embellishments on his horns, some gold clasps. He's got golden bracers on. Other than that, he's not super clothed. He kind of lets it all out. But what he does have is some sort of centurion style leather greaves and a bit of that battle kilt going on. He's got a bird on his shoulder, which looks an awful lot like an eagle, except something's a little bit off about it. It looks too shiny, too metallic to be a normal bird. Doesn't have a lot of weapons. Got a bow slung across his back, and other than that, he's got these two round chakrams on either side with kind of these custom leather holsters. Quick draw holsters, you might say.
Very cool.
Cool. Yeah. Very dope.
Nice description.
Alrighty. As that happens, all of you guys, go ahead and roll initiative. And then remind me, Moss goes on your turn, right?
He does.
Alright, cool. Take him out of the initiative, which is nice. Ooh. The other thing that happens, as you guys watch all of this unfold, suddenly Casaria kind of just looks around and just goes, and as her eyes flutter, she just kind of like holds her hand up against you, Lyra, and then just falls face first, unconscious, into the dirt.
What happened to Casaria?
Complaining about that tooth, I bet it just passed out from the pain.
Pacify pain. Alrighty, cool. That brings us. Oh shoot! Why did I have Lyra on there?
I was about to say I shouldn't even be there.
Diddle-diddle-diddle-diddle-diddle-diddle. Alrighty, with that, we're gonna kick it off.
Also, I just would like to, for you know, the sake of helping people, even though I'm not there, I didn't have alacrity when I rolled last session because Rodus has alacrity right now, technically, because I gave it to him today.
Oh, so what you're saying is, Rodus, would you like to roll for a higher initiative?
I would.
You get to
Sorry.
add a D8.
Oh no, I gotta cover this. This is the unicorn blood that keeps me going. Woo!
And we're
They
silver.
were not
Red Bull.
sponsored by Monster yet.
But it's a Half-Life.
It is a Half-Life. Alrighty, let me get that initiative updated. God, that's so good.
Still not enough to beat Minos, though. The competition has started. We need more scantily clad male characters here.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take off my toga.
I mean, I'm not completely opposed, I can tell you that. Alrighty.
Remember, Yanni has a strength of 5, so he probably looks about like a rubber band without that toga on.
Rubber band. Alrighty, cool. Minos, you see that two basilisks are currently swimming their way towards Crane. You can see that one of them, the music is still all in. Alright, here we go. It's approximately right here. And another one seems to be approximately over yonder. That's kind of where you see ripples of water starting to come out.
All right. How high is this ledge that I'm on? This
15 feet.
All right. So I will carefully and painstakingly electric slide my way down.
Alright, as you try to move down that way, go ahead and make me an athletics check or acrobatics check, your choice, to kind of like try to slide down without taking damage. Oof, alright, as you make your way down, two things are going to happen. First, you're going to, as you stand there just majestically, you know, all of the Minotaurian bits are flung in the wind, and you just kind of step up. Your hoof kind of catches something, you as you just start going down, as you land prone. The rest of you guys kind of see Casaria pass out. You guys look to the right, and it's just like, what is happening over here? As you land prone over yonder, and you do take a little bit of damage. 1 point of bludgeoning damage.
What was that?
All right. And have I only used 5 feet of my movement then, or was that 15 feet down?
So it's just 5 feet to step up, go down, fall prone. So now to stand up, you would have to use 15 feet of your movement.
Yep. I'll use 15 feet to stand up, and then I'll move to the shoreline. And I don't think. Just checking the range. I am just in range to Hunter's Mark this guy right here.
All right, you currently don't have sight on it.
Sightline on him? Okay, alright.
It's like you saw the ridgeline kind of go up and then it ducked under. It's kind of like a crocodile that kind of like goes up for a second and then it starts going back under.
Can I save my reaction to Hunter's Mark him as long as he's within 90 feet of me when he emerges?
You'll have to cast the spell and maintain it. So essentially the way that it works is you
Not
cast
gonna
the spell
do
and then
that, no.
hold it as a reaction.
It's too much of a chance to lose it.
You could also try to dash closer maybe or something like that.
Yeah, I'll dash out into the water here just a little bit. And then he'll do this sort of and point out at the water and say,
Moss, it's time to take to the skies.
Gotta love it already. Alrighty, Maz is technically up 15 feet in the air. What's its fly speed again? I don't think I have that on here correctly.
I believe it is 60 feet.
Let's roll with that for now. Alright, would you like to describe what this majestic metallic bird looks like flying about?
Yes, so it is black and tan with sort of some gear work. You see its feathers almost look like blades, yet they rotate as it flaps its wings through the air to mimic the action of feathers, allowing air to pass through on the upstroke and fighting against the wind on the downstroke. Has a very vicious curved beak, and it looks like, if you were very perceptive, you might almost see that some of the feathers are actually made to detach.
Very cool. Alrighty, awesome. You also are starting to wade into the water, so anything that is outside of those little ripples, you see that on the edges, that is going to be deep enough that it will actually, slow you down. Alrighty, so that brings us to Rhodus, correct?
Indeed.
Alrighty, Rhodus, all you.
First off, could I make some sort of check? I expect in my experience fighting beasts that I would have some familiarity with basilisks and what things are important.
What's your passive
When
history
engaging
score?
with them.
Otherwise, you can definitely take a moment and like try to rack your brain about the details.
My passive history is -1. I'm just trying to
So
get, like, my
nice.
specific beast fighting experiences, you know.
Yeah, if you would like to make a check as an action, you certainly could do that.
Not as an action.
Figured.
Can I? What? How much of the basilisk, or how much of this monster can I see?
Currently, nothing.
We
You
knew
saw,
that they're basilisks. Didn't we? We heard
yeah,
about them.
you saw kind of like a little bit poke through, and let me check on your passive perception. Actually, you did not notice it. You just suddenly hear that what is it called? That Casaria has passed out. You look behind you, and then suddenly Crane had noticed these creatures starting to come up on her, and you're just kind of confused looking around. You passive 10. I just noticed.
I don't know they're there.
Sorry, guys. Dave, the stream can see the volume control, not the...
Oh, no. Sorry,
rolls.
guys. There we go. Thank you for calling that out.
I'm going to instinctively draw my sword just in anticipation of something seems to be happening, and I will, just sort of be spinning around, waiting for something to happen. I suppose I'll be holding an attack. Yeah.
Alrighty, sounds good. Do you think it would be reasonable that Rhodas would try to pull out her javelin if he has one left?
Well, I actually have the hammer that I would pull out because it has the thrown property, but.
Thought you left it with Grandpa.
Oh, I did. Sorry, it's in my inventory, so I just, for some reason, I thought I would have it, but you are absolutely right. It is not actually.
You are attuned to it, though. You know what that means.
I could call it. Yeah, I don't think I would take out a javelin. I'm going to take out my sword.
Okay. As you pull it out and you kind of like try to look around, go ahead and make me a perception check. Oh man, yeah, you're just kind of like looking around. You're trying, like, you're not even thinking about the water. You know, Crane is a master when it comes to doing things underwater and that kind of stuff. So as you're just like, yeah, I'm not too worried about her.
Casaria.
Yeah, you're looking around. You're looking at Casaria, looking for some kind of threats. But yeah, the one thing that you actually do notice is up on the other side of the little embankment here are some centaurs, maybe like half a dozen or so that are just watching you guys. They are making no moves to attack or anything like that, but they certainly are observing you guys. So that seems to be interesting.
The general direction.
On the western side. This is far enough off that you would have to like struggle against the river itself.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to be keeping an eye on this Minotaur guy that's running into the water. what's going on? I saw him fall down the mountain. Is he okay?
Why is he attacking Crane?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Crane running from that bird? Is he sicking that bird on Crane?
Alrighty, that brings us to Yanni.
All right, first housekeeping question. It looks like I still have some effects on me that I think have expired. Is that not correct?
Let me double check. Yes and yes. Thank you for
Okay,
reminding me.
just making sure. No worries. And I have not cast Mage Armor today, so that would be there. He does! So we'll turn that off. I think. Or did I turn it on? I don't know. Well, so...
Yeah, I had cleared it.
Or wait, what's my unarmored? Yeah, 14. Alright, so, now that all that's handled. With a passive perception of 13, would I have noticed these things?
Oh yeah, 100%. You know that they're under the water approximately there. They just dumped under.
Great, but Brissa, help Casaria! And let's see, how far can I get?
You said we could walk across this section right now.
Yeah, that is essentially going to be difficult terrain, but you can do that. You see where it's kind of like lighter blue in that area? All of that stuff is like maybe like up to your calves, maybe a little bit like up to your knees.
Hey now.
So up to Yanni's nose, you know. Like a little straw.
Can I see it well enough to take a shot at it with my bow? This one over here?
It technically has total cover from you.
Okay. Roger that.
What I'll say in terms of you can try to hit it, but it is going to be disadvantage as you're trying to shoot it into the water.
I think what I'll do is hold my shot, so if it surfaces, I'll take a shot at it.
All right. As you run up behind him.
I'm not going to do anything with bonus actions, so.
Alrighty.
That would make me finished.
Sounds good. I hope that's not the case. But.
As my English teacher always said, chickens get done, people get finished.
As the thing does actually come up and out of the water to attack Crane, go to make your held attack there.
Okay. That I can do. That ain't gonna hit.
Oh, did you hear that sound effect? That was cool. It's like it sounded
Wait
like
till
you
I roll
broke
a nat
glass or
20.
something like that.
Yep. Wait till I roll a nat 20.
Oh, I see. You changed some
Somebody
stuff.
was playing around with the dice mod.
Ooh. As Crane, you watch this creature just surface out of the water, and for a second you see this weird creature. Let me actually pull it up on you guys' screen so you can see. You can barely kind of make this out, but not really. The river itself is a little too dark, but you see actually what look like two sets of appendages, legs that are coming out. There are all of these weird bristling, almost like thorn-like scales that are coming out of its back. You see these almost like mist-like eyes shooting up, and as you're just like, I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw. As you can just feel your muscles seem to kind of just seize up for a second as you look at this creature and you're just like now as you notice that effect, you it seems to be that looking at this creature, meeting eye contact with this creature causes this kind of effect. So at the beginning of your turn, you can choose to avert your eyes to not have to make the checks anymore. And
Crane thinks back to when she first met Casaria, and she was told to keep her eyes away from some creatures, and it seems like this is that same kind of creature.
Alrighty.
It has so many leggies.
So many leggies. Even more than your cutie pie. Alrighty, it is frustrated, certainly, that happened, but let me double check something else. Alright, that is just a thing that happens to be the case. It then tries to bite you. As you see just like a mouth that is just lined with these long dagger-like teeth that try to snap at you, almost like a crocodile or something. And you're just like, you guys now all notice the splashing of the water all about. Rotus, you swill away from those centaurs and towards that, and you're just like, as you notice what the case is. And let me check one other thing. Alrighty. That ends its turn. Brissa, it's yours.
And like bend down to Kasari and be like, "Get up!" And then give her like a few like little slaps across the face. See, give her a little shake. See if she gets up, or if she's just like.
As you kind of like slap at her and try to get her up, she's just like, you see her eyes are kind of rolled back and like violently moving underneath her eyelids, and she's just like she seems to be almost in a trance. It is odd, and what you hear her say is just, no, Kyra, no, and that's all you're getting.
Oh, I think she's safe for there now, but I did hear Crane having some issues, so I will. Was that an action to do that to make sure she's
No,
good,
I mean this is just like what you would pick up with your passive.
All right, then I will go ahead and the dark blue is difficult terrain, right?
The light blue is difficult terrain. As soon as you
hit
even
the
square.
light. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So that's 15 feet, and then that would be.
That's 20 feet to move right there because you're moving into the difficult terrain towards the end.
So then 30. This is gonna be rough. 30, and then another 30 there. This. All right, I'll get there in a few rounds. You guys have fun. All right, and then yeah, that's all I got.
All right, you tried so hard not to say it. It's adorable. All righty, Crane, go ahead.
As my bonus action, I will cast Shield of Faith.
Very smart.
So yeah.
Do you avert your eyes? This has to happen at the beginning of your turn before I forget.
Excuse me. Yes, I avert my eyes.
Awesome.
So as a reaction to feeling that, feeling overcoming her body, she will instinctually reach out with the magic that she now understands from Yanni's teachings that she has, and she can, basically ask for things. So she reaches out instinctually, asks for help, and some little kind of water sprites or something start swirling around her and in a small shield of faith. So I get +2 to my AC, which is already on. Thank you. And then this thing is all its eyes. So I'm going to do... Okay, David. This is going to be a technical question about shape water, because specifically we are underwater right now, so it's going to be... We're going to have to talk about it for a sec. So it says I can choose one effect on an action. I can freeze the water provided there are no creatures in it. Also, as a separate action, I can shape the water, or can form the water into shapes. Since I am underwater and the water is all around me, do I have to use an action to shape the water I intend to freeze, or can I freeze something into a shape without using a second action, you know what I mean? Or if I use the freezing action, is it just one block of 5-foot water?
It is just
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it is just one block. You can only do one of them at a time as per the cantrip. Counter question for you: does it have to be water that you can see, or does it just say water within range?
It does. It is water I can see. Yeah.
So because you averted your eyes, you actually cannot see any water currently. Just to keep track of that.
Averted isn't closed.
Yeah, I don't.
I'll roll with that.
You
guys can pitch things like that 100%. No need to be
water
frustrated.
Within the 5 cube of the creature. I'm happy to take that. But there is certainly a lot of water. Okay, so that changes my idea because I can't make a cup around him. So I will attack him, or it, I suppose. I don't know. I've never been around a
If you want to make a
basilisk,
perception
so
check, I mean...
I'd rather not use my action for that. Oh, but there are 2 creatures I can see. Do I know both creatures are there, or am I just aware of the one?
You noticed both creatures. You know that the other one is to the south of you currently.
I can see within range. Everything see.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use my movement and action to dash, or maybe my action to disengage, because it hasn't used its reaction at all. So I'll disengage, and I'll use my 40 feet of swimming speed to get to Rhodas, basically. Let's see how far I can get.
You can get all the way back. I mean,
yeah, I'll get there. That'll work. So, thank you.
All right, as you're just like, kind of do a little bit of a barrel roll, and using your natural nymph abilities to swim through the water.
Very dolphin-esque.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's a dolphin swim with like a butterfly combination, and you just actually almost just like explode out of the water as you land, and do not look behind you.
And now those water sprites are like streams of water surrounding me. Now that they're not submerged, they're now like coming up from the water, streaming around me.
Very cool.
That's it. That's my turn.
All right, awesome. That brings us to Minos. Oh, up. I gotta hold myself there. That is actually the Basilisk's turn next. Second Basilisk, that is. Alright. You guys don't actually see it for a hot second until suddenly it just bursts out of the water and starts crawling towards you guys. Rhodas, and Crane, because again, averting is not closing your eyes, right? You're only averting it as to 1, so I need both of you guys to make me a new Constitution saving throw. Brissa's just barely out of the range there.
Anyone who meets their gaze.
And for chat's benefit too, I do know that the averting stuff is technically a little bit different than I'm running it. The way I'm running it is just like the first exposure, because the characters are like exposed to it for the first time. I'm just like, what? Here on after, mechanically, it is at the start of your turn where you determine, do you want to avert your eyes and therefore be effectively blinded against that creature, and therefore it has advantage on attacks against you as well, or how do you want to do that from there on? Rodis, my man, that is amazing. Oh no. But Crane, as you kind of like come over there and you're about to like, Rodis, there's the second one comes out of the water and you're just like, and you feel it kind of like emanating from the center of your chest and going outward. You are restrained. Oh boy.
Fantastic.
That's one word. And then it is going to use the rest of its movement to try to get up on you, Rodis. At which point, Brissa, because you were outside of the effect, you kind of saw the creature move up. We're going to say that at this point it's going to be the other one, which is going to be if you, at the start of your turn, you have to decide, do you want to avert your eyes or do you want to be looking at it? All right, Minos, it is your turn.
Do I get to use my health attack?
Oh, you were holding your attack too, huh?
Yep.
Good.
Go right ahead.
Noise.
Oof. I saw that teeter on the 18. No! No! D&D, why you be like that sometimes? Lord. Is that loud?
Don't worry, Rodis. I'm coming up to help you.
As you actually crack that rock in front of you in half. As it goes to the side, you're like pulling it back out. All right, Minos, it is your turn.
All right. So, some bookkeeping. Moss does have an 80-foot fly speed.
Ooh, very cool. So he could have moved another 20 feet or so, is what you're saying?
Yeah, but that's okay. He'll stay where he is because he has a 60-foot ranged attack.
Pew pew.
Now the basilisk is half submerged, just as an FYI.
It's half submerged. All right. So the one that is uncovered would be on the island there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then he will redirect. He'll use a little bit of movement to reposition.
Rodis, you're on the wings.
Move him for some reason.
Oh, you should have permissions for him. You might not. Hang on.
He's gone rogue.
This my bed. Nope, you're the owner for that, 100%. Oh, it's because it's not his turn. Where would you like him to end up? That's one of the
I was
mods.
just gonna move him about here.
Alrighty, sounds good. He flies on over.
He'll use his
As the beautiful bronze wings just kind of glimmer with the light. Alright, unleashes the pignon.
And you see as he is kind of holding a circling pattern there, one of he makes a particularly aggressive flap directly towards the basilisk that's up on land as a bladed feather shoots out from his left wing.
Ooh,
Very cool.
that's cool.
Super cool. Guys, the more I looked at this ranger after Ephraim had picked it, I was like, this thing is dope. This thing is really, really dope. But anyway, as that flies down and strikes the basilisk a few times. You see it took some damage, but not a whole lot.
All right. Minos will move here. And he will Hunter's Mark this one on land with his bonus action and draw his main hand Chakram with a quick draw and make an attack there.
Go ahead and cast Hunter's Mark first real quick. Alrighty. And that would be a hit, but for the cover that it does enjoy. There's some of these rocks plus Rhodes in the way, and the creature, while it is technically of the medium persuasion and size, it does have quite a bit of cover in the sense that it is kind of lower to the ground. You take the chakram, and it's really cool. What you guys watch is, would you like to describe what your particular blades look like?
Yeah, so it's kind of it's generally round, but it has kind of this handle in the middle that allows it to spin freely. And so what he does is he kind of chucks it overhand, and as it whizzes by, it just like skates over the top of the scales and returns around, comes back to him, he catches it and holsters it again.
Almost like a
That
boomerang.
was cool. This
And
guy's got all the toys.
this thing is amazing. If you guys check it out under the Ranger, again, the Amazonian subclass, it is phenomenal. Chakram, unless you roll a natural 1, return back to your hand.
If I die, I want to be Xena.
Yes, 100%. Alrighty, I believe that is the end of your turn, however. So that means it's gonna be Rhodes the Brodus. What would you like to do?
Now, being a ranger, have I hunted basilisks before?
Roll me a d100. What's your passive history?
Oh, I'm sure it's not good.
You have
it
not.
should be
You
11.
made a furt like of children's tales of basilisks. They're obviously very dangerous creatures, but you in particular have not hunted one before.
It's my turn. Crane was mentioning right as she was coming out of the water that what to do. Was I able to hear that, or was she, started to beep?
No, you were able to hear that.
Okay. So then
It's
I
right
will
at the
choose to
end
avert
of
my
that.
eyes.
Mm-hmm. All right, averting your eyes, which means you're going to be blind against this creature.
But I can still attack with disadvantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you can reckless and offset it. It's already got disadvantage on you.
I could.
That's true.
I am going to do that. To make it a normal roll, I will
Alright,
use
go for
my
it.
reckless attack. Just a straight roll. Come on! No. Can't hit anything. With
Hitting again as you're just like doing aggressive strikes left and right. I'm so used to you guys being level 5s in the other group, so I'm just like, oh, dang it. All right, no extra attack. Anything else?
No. If I don't hit anything, I might just start raging out of raging and not because I need to use it.
It's true.
You can always grapple it.
I could grapple it. That's true.
That is a thing, yeah.
Actually, I can grapple as a bonus action.
Oh yeah, you picked that up at 3rd, huh?
Yeah, I am going to do that.
All right, cool. It is going to obviously try and resist. Let's see if it can. It
That
seems
would
to
still be with disadvantage on that check, right?
That is actually
To
a
grapple
good
it. Actually, I'm
question.
touching it. I would be physically touching it. I don't need to be looking at it.
Let's roll with that for now because I think
Having studied Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I can tell you don't need to see.
5th edition doesn't care about the real life. I'm just kidding. But what it does care about is rules as written. And if you look at the rules as written, I think it only says attack rolls. Now you're replacing the attack roll with a grappled check, but a check is not an attack roll. So for now, I'm okay with ruling it that you don't have disadvantage on that.
Athletics check.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Andrew, I
sharp
love
strength.
how your dog is pretty much camouflaged against your wall.
Yeah, it looks like a pillow that he's leaning up against.
There
Okay.
you go.
You reach
Get back
out
in the wall.
and
What are you doing?
you put your arm kind of around its massive, and you also now notice incredibly muscular neck as you're like, oh, damn it! And it's kind of like a Komodo dragon. If you've ever seen one of those go fully berserk, those things are fucking pure muscle. The same thing. It rolled a natural 20 as is able to break out of it. You did not manage to get it to stay still on that one.
Wag.
Oof.
That's it, boys.
So, excuse me, I was kind of thinking about my next attack and only just tuned in. I'm pretty sure the grapple is a special attack action, so it does only take an attack slot, not an action slot.
Right.
Right, well, that's why he did it as a bonus action.
Yeah.
He has like a special
He
thing.
gets
Oh,
it as a
right.
bonus action for
Cool. That's what I needed.
Well, he can do that because of his subclass. Alrighty, which brings us to Yanni.
So the one out here is still partially submerged.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean like 3/4 cover,
Half cover, essentially.
half cover?
They're
I'll roll the
longer
dice
than
on
they're
that.
taller, so it's only half.
Sure. I'm pretty sure that's. I mean, I didn't check last time, and I should have. But I should have rolled with disadvantage last time, but I missed anyway. So I missed with a 1. So
Yeah,
so this doesn't put me in the water, right?
correct.
Okay, that's all the close to. I was only 5 feet away. So,
Yeah, all the squiggly lines is not disadvantage. That's just like your feet are kind of in it.
Right. All right. So from there, I'll take a shot at him with the bow. I'm also gonna, like, as I'm moving into position, be like, "Hey, Mr. Minotaur, I like your bird. I hope you're on our side." Oh crap! This new layout with this extra monitor is nice, but I'm still like, where is everything? Where are all my things?
Yeah.
Gonna guess that probably missed with the cover.
That is a miss with the cover.
Yeah.
You hear that, or you see that explosion of
okay.
water. Sadly, a miss.
No worries. Still nothing with my bonus action, but I am going to move a little more. Let's see. Oop, shift is not the key. Control is the key.
Control is the key. Remember, the little squiggly lines are actually normal. Oh.
I think, well, with all the diagonals, 15. Yeah, I guess I could move one more. So there we go. And I'm done.
Only
Thank you.
one forward, right? Yeah, 30 feet. Perfect. All right, that brings us to the basilisk's turn. As it just kind of hisses, it slither dashes towards Crane there as it gets upon land. Is now out of the water, however, and had to dash to make it there. Damon, I need your brain. 25 and 15 feet on a hypotenuse. What's the distance of that?
What is that? 625 and 225? Is that right? I'll math it. Hold on. I'm out
All
of
right,
practice.
sounds good. In that case, it is going to be Briss's turn. You did hear Crane shout that out.
Would the basilisk effect be a charm?
No, not a charm.
Would it be a shape-changing effect?
I see where you're going with that one, and no, that is also not a polymorph effect.
It's just over 29 feet, David.
Just over, but under 30?
Under 30.
Alrighty.
Is it a magical effect?
Not in the sense that you would think. So like magic resistance against like spells, that's normally what you're thinking of, right? With the do you guys have that too?
I have it because my dragon, so I just because I get his magic resistance, so because it's saving throws against spells and other magical effects. So it's not just
by the way,
spells.
is that only active when he is actively out?
It's just when he's 10 feet near me. So as long as he's like in my hood, I'm good.
Let me look it up real quick to double check.
Wouldn't having a dragon curled up in your hood like throw your balance off?
It's a pseudo dragon. It's good. It's all good.
So you could.
Dude,
say-
I've got like a 13-pound cat that I could, if I stuffed him in a hood at the back of my head, I would feel it. It would throw me off. I promise.
So you could say it's all good when he's your neighbor in your hood.
Yeah, exactly. I will avert my eyes for now. I guess I'm gonna wait until you tell me if. For now, I will because I can't reach it anyways. So this turn, I will be averting my eyes, and then I will cast Bless on myself, Rodus, and Crane.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
Hashtag.
And then I'll yell to Rodus, "You should be able to hit him now!"
Going straight.
see.
Rissa seems so nice on the surface.
It's
She
just
really knows how to push people's buttons. She knows.
It's
how to
just
work words.
it's a competition with me and Rodus. We just gotta. He knows on the inside.
And
And-
you
but
end your
yeah.
turn there?
Yeah, because I used my action, so I can't really reach him too much.
Crane.
But so does it count for the
I-
magical resistance?
I'm still looking at it right now, so give me just one
Okay.
second.
I'll do some research too and see if I can find it.
While I also want to look up something else for a crane there. Okay. So it's going to be at the end of your turn, you're going to get another saving throw. But
Okay.
until then,
So I can't use my action to break out of it.
this is not. Yeah, this one is
Yeah.
not a physical one per se.
Okay, great. Then I will. I have no movement, and I get disadvantage on attacks and checks. Okay. I don't really have anything. The only thing I can do without looking at it is Ice Knife, and if I attack it with Ice Knife, I get hit.
Ice Knife doesn't say a point you can see.
It doesn't say C, it says you can fling ice at one creature. I think it's more of a desperation flavor to it.
Yeah, he is right. It does not say there's no sight component to that. That is crazy.
So that's all I've got, but I don't want to do that here.
Man.
Yeah, fuck.
And you have
Speak
your
my
eyes
language.
averted to both now?
Yes, I avert my eyes.
He's looking
I
at the pretty
close
birdie in
my
the sky.
Yeah.
In fact, yeah. Could I sacrifice my action to get advantage on my check to break free?
No. That is
Nice try,
cool
though.
and creative, but yeah, no. Sadly, no.
Like, cool.
Oh wait, cast resistance on yourself, dude. You have that, don't you?
Nope.
He does
Oh,
not.
did you used to?
Kasaria did.
Kasaria had it. Okay, my bad. Oh yeah, that would make sense. I don't think sorcerers can even get that.
I
much.
guess at that
I've
point,
already got
that
bless
means
you, don't save.
it's going to come down to Crane making that Constitution saving throw. Don't forget, you get to add a D4 to that. And double check if you guys have DM inspirations and that kind of stuff. Crane, you don't. But if you guys do have stuff like
yeah.
that.
I'm just checking my enhance ability to see if that can help. That's helping me with checks, which I currently have disadvantage on, but maybe not after the roll.
Doesn't help saving
And it
throws.
doesn't help
Yeah.
me with saving throws later on anyway, which I'm already a bonus on. So, fuck. Excuse my language again. I really don't have anything.
You could
I
dodge.
don't want to do it, but she is desperate enough and feeling desperate enough that she's going to go for the ice knife.
Oh, shit.
You could just take the dodge action, you know.
Now you still
No.
have disadvantage for two different reasons. So go ahead and roll me just a D20.
D20.
You're not looking at it still, technically, but on the other side, this is a ranged attack, which means that because there's
Within
something...
5 feet.
Mm-hmm.
That's just fine.
So that is a 13 total.
And then I do
All right,
a
as you
dex
kind of like
save
just fling it desperately
at
behind
disadvantage.
you.
Oh, I didn't pick disadvantage for that. I'm an idiot.
It would still have bless. So
Yeah, and that was a dex saving throw. This is supposed to be a con saving throw. You rolled a 7 on that one. So before you go there.
Sorry, con save for what? I was
Oh
rolling
yeah,
the
you're
dex
right.
save
You're right.
the
This is for
ice
your
knife,
own
excuse
ice
me.
knife.
Yeah. Which it itself needs to roll as well. Where's my cursor? And I'll roll a d4 as well to get that bless. Okay, so the d4 was a 4, and the other side was a...
Okay. So
I got a 7 disadvantage on the dex save, and a +4 to the dex save.
Let's walk it back a little bit because starting out, the ice knife was a miss on the creature because it ended up being the second one was a 13 to hit, so that is a miss.
+5. Yeah.
So it is also going to make its dex saving throw. It also it fails, and you barely succeed against your own dex save there.
Okay, so 1d6 damage.
No, 2d6. So the secondary
2d6?
effect. Yeah. So the second half.
Oh, I
there
see.
says,
Sorry, I was looking at higher levels. My apologies. This
So
is
gonna
all
roll
filled
one
with
more.
my rolls now.
You good. All right. As you fling that ice knife to the side, it somehow only strikes against the creature. As you hear that hissing sound of this very aggressive iguanodon, you're able to somehow not damage yourself at all. Fantastic.
Just the sprites get in the way of all the debris of ice, saving me.
Beautiful. All right, go to make me that con save at the end of your turn against.
Con save will do.
Make it good. Make it
and
good.
I have a +4, right?
David, there should have been a bless on that
plus
disadvantaged attack as well.
Oh, that is true. Go ahead and roll me a d4 for that. Thank you for reminding me.
Okay, so d4 coming up.
Sorry, so much going on. That's why I like to take
There is.
nice and slow, one at a time. All right, so that would have been a 14 altogether. That would have been a 17 to hit, which is a hit. Go ahead and roll me a d10 for the initial
D10.
piercing strike. Bless for the win. Also, Alex, what did you find out?
I should have advantage against those.
Okay.
So I threw it into the Odyssey general chat.
Yeah, I saw that. I'll check it out later. For now, I trust you 100%. Alrighty, so it also took 4 points of
so the
piercing
con
damage. Very
save-
cool.
The con save, it's just a straight roll, no advantage or disadvantage.
As far as I'm aware, yes.
Great. So 1d20 plus 1d4 plus 4, rolling. Oof, rough. I'm still in it.
All right.
Yeah, I think her body is freezing up, and if anyone could see her eyes, they're like bulging with anger or frustration or fear or all of them. And she's trying to reach out with the magic, but it's getting more and more dangerous for her.
And as you do, you guys watch as she flings the thing behind. She kind of turns towards the rest of you guys and kind of reaches out and you are petrified. Just completely turn to stone on that second one. Damn.
All right.
Shit.
Well, that was fun.
Jalali, you want to go for a walk? Oh, where'd she go?
Oh man. All right. Let me get that. Oof.
Is Crane in the water and does she sink?
No, she's on the land,
Looks like I'm
kind
in
of like
shallows.
stands there in her stony form.
Cool.
Can you just grayscale it? That would probably.
That's what I did, but it wasn't quite. It was like either full black or yeah. All right, as it is the creature's turn once more, it is going to strike at Rhodas. All right, that bite attack coming in at you, and that is going to be a miss. Alrighty. Minos.
He'll point up to the sky and he'll say,
Moss, flanking position.
and we'll have it fly. Way down there.
Oh, I got you.
We'll actually have it move back behind a little bit more, so.
Move back here, or a little bit more. He can
Yeah,
go
a little bit more
to,
behind
I think
it.
it was right. Yeah, right there.
Perfect. And then he will move his half movement down to get a slightly better sight line. And this time, since you can draw one weapon per round, he'll draw his second quick draw chakra. And he'll chuck both of them at this guy.
Did you use your bonus action to command your bird?
Nope, he gets his own turn on my turn.
Isn't that after your turn? Sorry, I'm just trying to get the order right too.
Oh, it may be after my turn. He shares initiative with you.
Yeah. I wonder if it's like the Drake Warden. Thank you guys for the patience. Also getting used to some of the new stuff. All right, the companion. Yeah, the wording there is not great. It just says acts on your initiative in combat. Yep, sounds good. That's legitimately better than the Drake Warden. Alrighty, go for it.
Well, I mean, all these races and subclasses in this thing are a little OP,
I mean,
but in a fun way.
This
is just an OP adventure. I mean, it
so
fits.
much fun. It's so much
Oh
fun.
yeah. Hells yeah.
The first one is a strike. The second one is a miss. As you approached it, you barely stayed out of that 30-foot range, as you know it mechanically. It hits as it comes back. The second one is a miss.
Alright, so that's an extra d6 on one from the Hunter's Mark.
Yep.
And Moss will also release a pinion blade. We're going for the death by 1,000 cuts thing.
Hey, in D&D, that absolutely works.
Kind of the only way to do it until you get like the heavy hitters like disintegrate and power word kill and stuff.
Yeah. At that point, it just becomes a battle of counter spells.
Yeah.
Alrighty, that is a hit. As it gets hit on the side and has like all of these bronze feathers sticking out of its side. Very cool. Alrighty, cool. Anything else, Minos?
Not for now.
Alrighty, that brings us to Rodus.
Rodus, he's going to square up to this bad boy basilisk one more time, and he is going to...
Eyes averted or wide open?
He's going to avert his eyes.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh shoot, that means he had advantage on your attack, on the attack against you. Hang on one sec. I forgot that you reckless attacked.
Well, he was averting his gaze anyway, so.
True, that would have been a hit. Are you resistant to poison damage by chance?
Nope, radiant and necrotic.
Then you take a total of 10 points of damage. Alright, Rodus, pay it back.
Shadow's bots, bro!
I'm going to bonus action rage.
Ah, yeah, I get it.
And he bites into me, and that just sets Rodus off.
The golden radiance comes about your body there.
And with my white hot rage, I will lash out and attack with my greatsword once more. My God.
What did you roll? Oh my God, how?
I didn't even roll with disadvantage. That was just my first roll.
Somebody pointed out also that our voices are low, so I'm going to try to boost them as much as I can on my end. Hetrix, let us know if that is a little bit better. Thanks for pointing that out. Alrighty. Rotus. You try to strike it, but not being able to see it is just super, super hard. As you, once again, at this point, you're just turning this boulder in front of you into complete gravel. Anything else with your move? That's it?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stay there, yeah.
Alright, sounds good. That brings us to Yanni's turn.
Oh man, he's gonna need to sharpen his sword after this. I'm gonna move to here, and I think it looks like I should have a clear shot at it between all the peoples.
I mean, it's not.
I'm not sure if it has cover from anything else or not.
It's not completely clear just by the whole like hitting the corners thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta stop expecting real life to matter. Because Briss is not filling a 5-foot square. Alright, that's cool. It's not more than half cover though, right?
I'll give you half.
Alright, I'm gonna shoot at it with the bow again. Alright. Everybody duck!
Alrighty.
And that should have sneak.
And that is with Snake. Alrighty, for a total of 13 points of damage. Very cool. The creature... You actually like get it in the maws. Just claws at the arrow, kind of breaks it as it pulls it out. Not dead yet.
That's how you do it, Ro!
You guys are so mean to him. Oh man.
I'm trying to encourage him. Like, look, he can be hit. It can be done.
It's totally possible, man.
I'm finished.
Alrighty, that brings us to the Basilisk, which is going to slither around Crane to the other side of Rotus, and with advantage because of the Reckless, is going to make its bite attack against you. Ooh, that is a natural 3 and a natural 6. You're fine.
I didn't Reckless that time.
Oh, but you
You're averting your gaze,
You
right?
averted your eyes.
Oh, yes, sorry.
And you did a straight roll with that one, so yeah, that would have had to be a...
Well, he rolled a 1. There was no point in rolling a second one.
Oh. Potato, potato. Brissa, it's your turn. Still averting your eyes, yeah?
No, Brissa. So they can only petrifying gaze on their turn, right?
Nope, it happens at the top of your turn.
It happens at the top of my turn. Risk it for the biscuit.
So did we decide you have advantage from the fairy dragon?
I do have.
I haven't had time to read it yet, but
I do have.
I mean, if it's a magical effect, then he would have advantage from the way that's written.
And that guide says it was advantage. You know, like they were like, oh, but you know, it said in there that, you know, it literally called it a basilisk petrifying like gaze in there. So
it has to explicitly declare magical. Looks like on that one. For now, we'll roll that you have advantage until I have time to read this, so it's not in the middle of the session. Okay.
Yeah. All right. If I have advantage, I'm just going to not avert my gaze.
Make me con saving throw.
Don't forget your D4. Hashtag blessed.
I don't think I need it.
I don't think you need it.
I will do it anyways.
Alrighty.
And then I will. I can make it here, right? Without.
Yep.
Then I will take out my glaive and swing for the tabletop. 1d4.
Now Rotus is threatening it, and I do flanking.
Yes.
Even though he's blind, he's still technically threatening it.
Not a nat 20.
Actually, that brings up a cool consideration. I'll have to chat about in a rules lawyer chat later. But that
is an
is
interesting
Actually, be
question.
from the perspective of the creature.
because technically you cannot make opportunity attacks against the creature that you're averting your eyes from. You don't see it moving away because you're effectively blinded against it. There are no opportunity attacks, so can you threaten it? Truly? But then again, you
You'd
can
still be
make attacks.
hostile, though. wouldn't
Exactly.
you?
We'll chat about that in the community.
Perhaps
So
the
many
word
questions
threatening
today.
should
I know,
change
it's just
to
been great.
distracted.
As you strike down on it, with that, you are able to cut across into its back. As it tries to snap against the glaive, you just put your foot down onto its neck, push it down, and finish it off as you just get the eyes.
I'll just be like, I got you, Rotus, don't worry. Pull it out.
More like
like-
roast us. Jesus.
My great sword, another rock and a half.
I'm getting him a whetstone for his birthday.
So that was, what, 20 feet? So I have another 10. So I should be able to get right next to Rotus.
Yep.
Right. Boom. Come up and destroy this basilisk.
Alrighty.
And that's all I got.
That brings us all the way back to Minos. Now you are starting your turn within 30 feet, so do you want to avert?
Am I blessed?
No. They don't know who you are.
You're just a random Minotaur.
What is this icon I have up here then?
That is you're concentrating on Hunter's Mark.
Gotcha.
Also, hey
Yeah,
Patrick.
we'll take the chance.
Sometimes you gotta risk it.
Especially for that biscuit.
To save.
And Brissa got her biscuit.
Alrighty. Minos, at the top of your turn, you feel your chest starting to constrict as well as you're just like, it's getting harder to breathe. You feel like your legs are starting to completely cramp up. What do you do?
Alright. Am I restrained yet, or is that at the end?
Yeah, you are restrained now.
Does that mean I get just an action? Or
Let me
just
double
that I
check.
can't move?
I think no move, disadvantage on attacks that you make, advantage on attacks against you, and disadvantage on dex saving throws.
Alright. I will move my Hunter's Mark. I'll make one attack at disadvantage.
As it kind of just ducks down, it goes off of the rock as it comes back to you.
Alright. And then, as he feels himself stiffening up, he'll like try to move one of his arms to the sky and say,
I'm gonna need your help. We need to live mass.
and we'll have Moss come over here behind me,
Already.
and he will take the help action.
And fly down on you as well. Because he was 15 feet up in there, dives down. He can totally do that with the movement that he does have.
He'll poop a little oil on you. You know,
Now,
lubricate you up.
does the help action help
Get
you
you
with
out of it?
saves?
Whoa.
I don't think so. I think it's just checks.
So,
An attack or
I
a
could-
check.
I could potentially see it helping with like a dex save if it helps shove you out of the way of something, but outside of that, or maybe a strength save if it helps pull or push, but I'm not
Yeah.
sure on anything else.
It's ability check or attack roll. It's in Discord right now too, if you want to look at it.
I think reflexively he'd do it anyway.
Alrighty. as this American bald eagle, a Stimfey, comes flying down towards you. Rodus, it is your turn. Still averted gaze, or are you going full barb mode?
I think that they have upset me into not going to avert gaze. I'm going to make a save.
Ooh, alrighty. Go ahead and make me that Constitution saving throw, Rodus.
Bless.
Mm-hmm. Oh
That's
shit!
right.
There's
Yeah.
the natural
Nice.
20. As you are just locking eyes with it, you feel the effect, and there's just so much anger. For a second, you actually see the light get even hotter and brighter.
Oh damn!
And
You
I'm
like
going
look
to-
from Briss's eyes to its eyes, and back to Briss's eyes and to its eyes.
Aggressive eye contact.
And then I'm going to reckless attack again. So
All right, this time you can hit
Great
Alt
start.
while you do it. Oh yeah. Hey, and that actually kind of
And
barely
a D4.
hits. But of note, it doesn't include your rage damage, so that should actually be 12 points of damage as you whack down on it. Good hit.
There you go, Ro. Good job. Good job.
That's like the dad coach from the sideline.
That's my boy.
my bodyguard over there.
And the Basilisk just responds with a looking at both of you guys. All right, is that the end of your turn? Do you do something else? Do you like swivel around?
Nah.
That's what I was thinking about doing, but I can't get into a position where I'm flanking, can I?
I would say it's just difficult terrain as you're kind of like having to hop over that. You're still staying in its threatened range, but you certainly could then jump back down. You are athletic as fuck, so it's difficult terrain, but you can do it.
Yeah, I mean that's not the deep water.
Exactly.
Barely.
As you get into this stuff, certainly does slow your movement down, but it's not to the extent where you're not going to give that advantage. All right, Yanni, I believe that brings us to you.
All right. Let's see. No, drag. I want you to drag. Oh, it wasn't my turn yet. There you go. I think from here I should be able to hit it pretty cleanly. Yes?
I mean, there's still that rock that I was just talking about in the way.
Ah, yeah. Why does everybody always move into my way? I was going to move up. Okay. Well,
Everybody else,
that's all right.
start paying attention to what Yanni's up to, damn it.
I'll just take the shot as is. All right, Yanni to the rescue!
Natural 19. Brush, 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 brush. Go ahead and do that sneak attack too. All right,
One.
8 points of damage. Hey, that's 8 points of damage that it is now missing from its max HP. Very good.
Yep. I'm done.
Which then brings us to its turn. It angrily kind of swivels around between the two of you, having just recently been hit by Rodus. Because that was a reckless attack, it is going to recklessly bite you, or it gets advantage on that. Oh my god! And it can't roll worth save its life right now, as that brings us to Brissa's turn.
So you need it. So since it's facing away from me, since it just attacked Rodus, do I still need to make a con save?
There's no such thing as facing in 5th edition. Guys, don't kill me with these rules questions. You guys know the answer to that stuff. But yeah,
Could be. That
you
could easily be a house rule.
that would take so much stuff into it, though.
Yeah, it's a little harder with tokens than with minis.
Like, you can do it
Alright.
with tokens, it's just like, then I have to like sit there and kind of like swivel them around and like which way they're properly facing. And
Yeah.
it would probably add half an hour to every combat, easy.
I'm guessing I'm good.
No, you did. I'm just kidding, go ahead.
Insta the
Oh, what if we trade you that for flanking even if we're averting our gaze?
Huh?
Like,
What?
we'll give
Oh.
you... We won't
Oh.
fight you on eyesight for creatures if you don't fight us on flanking
there's
when
no-
we avert our gaze.
There's no fighting.
Oh man, lazy Susans.
There's no fighting.
No, it's a compromise. This is
We
all
just say
a
thank you, sir. May I
negotiation.
have another?
Those hits, but not enough to kill it.
This one's tough.
Oh, it's probably too late to do a Divine Smite. So.
I was waiting. Sorry, that was part of me. I was like waiting. Is he gonna say it? Because I've been accused of going too fast. I tried to make combat fast. It is such a balancing act. Like trying to be like, all right, let's go. But it's like, but I have a cool reaction. Can I use that? So absolutely. On that one, I was trying to wait.
You're good.
It might
I was like, do it. Yeah. No, I'll wait.
So, first question, Minos, as it is your turn. Do you avert your gaze, my friend?
Yes, he would, but I don't think it'll matter for the save.
Nope. But at least you're not risking 2 different saves. And did you? That is a save that is at the end of your turn, unless you didn't avert your eyes. Did you want to do something else before it's the end of your turn?
Sure, we'll throw one more.
All right, go ahead and roll with disadvantage since you're doing it blind. Ooh, good throw. You also get that hunter's mark on that.
Yes, and I'm also going to use my favorite foe hunter.
I had a question about that before because they technically both need concentration.
Do they?
Mm-hmm. Like, essentially favorite foe, you hold it as if you're concentrating on a spell.
Yeah. The UA version was way cooler.
Way cooler. But Minos, as you kind of like reel back and just like you strike against it, and it is so close to death. You just kind of hear it as the blood splatters across. You feel it come back with the blood kind of all soaking against your skin. Are you making that offhand attack?
Before he turns to stone, he's gonna turn to well, not turn, but he'll be like,
All right, Mouse. You know what you gotta do. You gotta help him. You're supposed to follow him around. Help him as best you can. All right.
Is it just me, or does he sound like a cowboy?
and Moss will fly up 20 feet in the air and pinion storm.
Alrighty. So no bonus action for Minos?
You know what? He's got another. He can draw his other one and throw it. Get the disadvantage.
And a 16 is a hit. Minos, as your body, you see the kind of like petrification starting from your legs, moving up through your hip. You kind of like. How do you want to do this?
All right. Well, his chakrams usually come back, but this one he's throwing with everything that he's got left in it. So he's just gonna throw it so that it burrows directly between the eyes and just like splits back to the beginning of the spinal column.
You guys both, Rhodus and Brissa, not having averted your eyes, just watch as this shotgun kind of cuts across and comes to rest at the tip, at the very beginning of the tailbone there. As you guys are just like, what the? And look over, Minos is just like, and turn to stone as he's just making some kind of very punny pose towards the end. As you guys were able to kill off the basilisks, we're gonna be deciding, or at least finding out, what the fate will be for Lyra as we come back from the break. We'll see you guys in about 5 minutes, we'll say, just like 2 to, so 9:42, 9:45-ish p.m. MDT. See you soon.
Can't believe you guys
sound so nervous.
I'm eating chicken nuggies like a baby Yoda.
David, I pulled up the VOD. I think if we turn the music down a little bit more, we'll be fine.
Yeah. Speaking of.
I feel like it keeps turning up every time it changes the track.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Again, I'm wrangling it. Alrighty, as that takes us out of combat for situation here.
Can we, like,
skip over?
Talk about
virus?
the people that are stoned first. Can we deal with that first? Can we take
No.
like an hour?
Well, Brian's the only one I've seen smoking something, but other
Who
people
stole
could
my
be.
kill?
I stole my kill.
Can they have like a fight, like an argument, like an hour-long conversation?
Wanna wait
Like
it out another
a
week?
Rocky training montage, perhaps?
Just something to avert the attention.
No, at
We can
this
cut
point.
away as Rodus is furious that he didn't end this basilisk himself.
Hey, at least you hit this one.
A couple times.
Yeah.
Man, really, we need
We
to
could
have
do
we need to have like an
we could
off
do like an
stream chat
sorry.
that is just like no, sorry. We're like, it's like that awkward thing when you try to step around each other and you keep walking into the same
Thank
direction.
you for the dance.
Yeah, it's like a roast this. That's like another session, another stream where we just talk about all of the shade that the characters throw at poor little Rodus. See, that's how you do it, Rodus. God damn it. But what were you gonna say, Andrew?
I was going to say if Lara, you don't want to be alone, we could do like an inside out thing where we play your emotions in your
Oh
head.
my gosh.
And we can help you make decisions.
I feel like if Lyra had all of you talking in her head, she would just jump into the arms of the dragon.
I'll be home.
Alrighty. So, as we delve back in, thank you guys for hanging around. So the group just fought off 2 basilisks, and 2 of the members of the crew ended up getting petrified. Now, during all of that, there was a 6th member that was surreptitiously missing from this fight because she...
I was there the whole time.
In spirit. Literally, it's all that stuff. I'm just kidding. As she was on a secret mission to try to implant some suggestive thoughts within a vanguard to the general that is opposing the city of Astoria right now. Lyra, as you're standing again in the city of tents towards the evening, Kyra had, waited outside of this place and wished you good luck, giving you a little bit of inspiration on the way in, which you used, but Lord Almighty, sometimes even a very well-rolled inspiration is not going to do the trick, as you did not cast your spell subtle enough and woke the dragon. The flap goes up as suddenly the silvery scaled dragon comes barreling out of the tent and starts slithering up towards you. You see multiple soldiers kind of like stop and look around. Again, all of them have like blue mantles that are kind of billowing behind them with either white or black lightning strokes, which again symbolize Sidon and the fact that they are Sidon soldiers. As the dragon is now looking at you, you see the massive maw of this creature, its nostrils just smelling at you, coming closer and closer as it bumps against you. You are kind of pushed back a couple steps. You see some soldiers approaching as the flap on the front of the tent pushes open, and you see General Gaius starting to walk towards and down on a path to see what is going on with the dragon and you, as the dragon seems to say,
Betrayer! 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 Gaius! Betrayer!
and Lyra, go ahead
I
and
just
make
look
me-
around.
Look around. I need you to make me an insight check, if you would.
Oh, great. I'm not
You're great
good
at those, right?
11.
There's something odd about the cadence, the speech pattern of this dragon, but it's hard to pinpoint down. There's just something just strikes you in your sensibilities, in your gut feeling. Your instinct tells you something is off here, but what exactly, you're not sure. Because everyone's eyes are currently on you. The guy that you had just talked to has walked away, so you have no way to like see that. As the general starts walking down, walks up next to the dragon, you see him put his hand upon the creature's shoulders and then almost lovingly run it across the neck as he kind of like scratches it under the jaw a little bit, and it goes and then looks towards you.
It's cute.
Again.
I'm mad, but it's cute.
You know, people are monsters to a certain degree. Like, you know, you gotta love yourself some dragons. However, as the stern-faced man with kind of like this military but still Grecian kind of haircut, brown that is turning into like dark gray in places and like shock white in other places. Definitely a beautiful bronze breastplate with many kind of decorations upon it, and what looks like just all of these storm clouds at the top, lightning bolts all across it, and striking down what are to be or very easily seen as stylized depictions of the invaders, as they're called, you know, the first settlers of the non-Fey races that came to Thylia. Lyra, as the dragon kind of turns again to him, what language do you speak? Do you speak Draconic?
I do.
All right, so you understand as the dragon says,
I heard this one say something. Try to convince one of your men to attack the shiny blood one. She's against us. Trust me, my love.
As Gaius,
you're a jerk and a liar, dragon. You're a jerk. I'd say it in Draconic.
And you see the eyes as they swivel back towards you, which are just like these complete, like, just deep gray irises that kind of like go to pinpoint pricks of the pupils, and just like, and like already as I try to also have a breath that kills me. That's what you call the chocolate breath. It's gonna be my last stream, y'all. It's nice knowing you. But as Ed,
right, Ephraim, take over.
Yeah.
What are you here for?
No, this is all you, Andrew. As it sucks in the breath, you can see guys just put up his hand up next to its throat as it's like, and he's just like, "Don't you dare!" It's like, and just kind of like lets go of it and has itself kind of a little bit more under control after that moment. It just goes,
I'm telling you, she is the liar.
Stop it already. Soldier, aren't you the one who just reported to me?
That's correct, sir.
What is this about?
I think your dragon must have me confused with someone else in this encampment.
You know me. I am good. My perception is good. I've trained for this.
Yes, I know. Just kind of like seizes you up and down. Make me a persuasion check. Or, sorry, deception check, Lyra.
Do I give up or do I run away? Do I give up or do I run away? A persuasion check?
Mm-hmm.
Cool, because I have advantage on those.
You got this.
Come on. Alright.
That's some awesome advantage right there.
Did you roll with advantage?
Yeah, because I get advantage when I speak.
That he was living in stereo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I rolled
roll
2
twice.
15s. Yeah, I got a 19 total.
How do you know it was...
I guess this is a monochromatic dragon.
As the dragon just goes...
No, she's a liar.
And comes up on you, puts a claw on top of your chest, and just knocks you down to the ground, not crushing you to death, but you're currently stuck between the claws. As it's you see its maw kind of stop. Commander Gaius at this point is just like, "Stop it! I told you to stop it!" However, that is when you just hear what is kind of like a what sounds like almost like a thunderous strike that is a little ways off, but as you look up towards the sky, kind of past the maw, as you see something kind of gathering in the back of its throat, suddenly there's just like a massive explosion next to you as rock and dirt peppers and pelts the side of the dragon's face. It quickly lashes out to the side, and as you look, suddenly it seems to be in a titanic struggle, as its maw is open wide, hyperextended, and with arms up on the upper jaw and the lower jaw, you see Kyra just like just holds the dragon back.
Go.
As Gaius just says, "What is this? You're interfering. You know this is against the oath." As Kyra just goes, and she just kind of lets the dragon's maw snapshot. As it slides next to her, she just grabs around its throat and just does like a full-on gymnastics move, starting to choke it out. As Gaius again says, "Stop it! Both of you now!" As Kyra just looks at him for a second and lets go of the dragon. And as it releases the breath, she just kind of holds up a hand, and suddenly there's a shimmering field that appears and inside of its throat. As it tries to get the breath out, it kind of like heaves off to the side and like unloads whatever it might have eaten for lunch that day. You see multiple pieces of oxen and the like just come tumbling out, and like this almost like a cauldron that has been expended in a very ice cold cave just goes all over. As
I just got thrown up on. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Kyra did not, Lyra did not either, as that was off to the side. However, okay. Gaius steps up next to you, pulls out his gladius, and has it right up against your throat. At this point, he also notices that what you're wearing is a magical disguise. As he goes,
"Yeah, I'll drop it." Yeah.
You know what happens to Oath Defilers, Goddess Kyra. As she's just like, she has not done anything yet. Her beautiful brown curls are definitely matted down with sweat. You see where she held back the teeth of the dragon. It pierced her skin, and there's just blood running down her hands and her forearms as it just starts to drop into the dirt all about her. As Gaius just goes, "Well, it appears there is going to be 2 sacrifices here today." As Kyra just goes, "No!" You see her kind of lift up into the sky, maybe like a couple inches off the ground, as her curls are just flying all about her. Her eyes are complete orbs of golden light. Kyra, you see all of this happening. Do you intercede in any way?
I'm definitely kind of taken by surprise because I didn't think Kyra would come in here. Because I knew she could get like divinely messed up for doing anything. Does it look like she's gonna try and hurt them, or she's going to try and get us away? Can I tell what she's doing?
Make me an insight check.
Your favorite check.
I know, I'm so good at it.
And because the stream cannot see that now, make sure that you call it out.
Yes, I got an 18, actually,
right.
So...
With the 18, you actually have been hanging around Kyra for a while now. You know that this goddess of beauty and theater and dance and theater, she's definitely drawing absolutely everyone's attention to her as much as she can. Like, she's really putting on a show. In fact, she landed next to the dragon. She didn't strike the dragon. She let the dragon attack her and only did things in self-defense. It appears that she once again is trying to exploit whatever loophole she can in the oath. As she kind of looks towards you, and there's like the slightest smile as she just winks towards you and lands down on the ground and says, "Fine. A new oath then, Commander Gaius. A sacrifice you shall have, but not the one that you thought." And she kind of wipes the sweat off. She is now just rubbing all the blood across her forehead. She goes, "Take me."
Ooh, kinky.
Not right now, Kyra.
"Let her go, and I shall swear the oath that you can take me."
Am I
the
still
rock.
pinned under the dragon?
No. The dragon went off of you. Like
Okay.
it jumped off to try to attack Kyra, and since then you've just been kind of prone on your back.
But everyone is paying attention to Kyra, right? No one's really looking at me anymore.
Yeah.
I want to cast message
All right.
and say, before you make an oath for yourself, if I can get to you, can you get us away?
She just looks at you, and she just like very subtly just kind of shakes her head as she looks towards the rest of them and says, "I know that the actions that were taken here today could potentially be construed as violations of the oath, and cognizant of this fact, I think you might want to have a better deal, yes?" And she seems to be kind of addressing all of the soldiers instead of just Gaius, as he goes and just crosses his arms, kind of like sheathing the gladius spec in, ultra confident. The dragon at this point has kind of stopped heaving and kind of angrily looks towards Kyra as she just has like her eyebrow curled up, and she just kind of does one of these towards the dragon, and the dragon kind of goes down like a very angry cat about to pounce, as Gaius just annoyedly puts up his hands and fixes a strong stare at the dragon as it starts walking behind, its serpentine neck just kind of curling up and above Gaius. And he goes, "So what exactly would this exchange be, Kyra, goddess of nothing?" "Well, you get to take me to the Rock of Astor, and you shall sacrifice me as you intended. No tricks, no interference. Let all of Astoria see a goddess put to death. What do you say?"
I want to get up and I'll say, this is probably not a deal that Sidon would want you to pass up on, to try and help Kyra convince him that this is the right thing to do.
Make me a persuasion check.
I am good at these.
Don't forget
I
to
got
call
a
him.
dirty 20.
Dirty 20. What about her? She gets to go. Tell you what, part of her oath will be that she will herald the fact that you are going to be putting the goddess of beauty to death. What say you, Gaius? Be good lapdog. Take the deal. This turned out to be interesting.
I shrug.
Fine. I swear to let this one go, and that you shall take the place of the mud-blooded so-called hero, Rotus, so that you may be sacrificed without interference, without trickery, without lies. You will be put to death. So I swear, before all of the gods, the true gods. Skyra goes. And you see there's a weariness. Lyra, make me another insight check.
I feel so bad. I got a 2.
You're just like, I mean, she's a goddess. This is gonna be great. This is the best deal ever.
No, David, I feel bad.
But Lyra, you do feel bad, but you're like, she has something up her sleeve. This is gonna be fine. This is gonna be absolutely fine.
In my head, I'm kind of like, I don't know how death works when it comes to goddesses.
Do they have different rules? Is there like a different platinum plan for them?
Does she just wake up a few days later? I don't...
As he goes, in addition, once this one is out of earshot, you shall take one more oath of my choosing. Skyra just goes, and kind of just looks at you, Lyra. And there's just like a warmth and just like a little bit of a smile that is a little thin-lipped due to the stress of the situation. But she goes, "Alright, Gaius, I swear upon all of the gods of Thylia that I am going to take the place of Rotus in exchange for this one to get to go. No tricks, no lies, no deceptions. I swear this. And I swear to make this separate oath to you." And as they both complete their oath, suddenly there's up in the sky. You see where it had been kind of just like some clouds hanging above, they seem to almost just mutate and grow larger in size and expand. Sidon approves. You, and now fixes his eyes on you, Lyra. Thank you. You're dismissed. And he just looks towards where Astoria is. And
I
starts
will walk up to Kyra, and I will hug her and whisper in her ear, "I don't know what you're planning, but if he actually kills you, I will find a way to bring you back, and I will kill all of these people, and then I'll just turn and fly back towards Astoria."
As you say this, she just kind of like gives you a hug back and then has like your cheeks in her hands. She just goes, "We tried our tricks. In Thylia, you do what you promise and what you swear. Remember what you swore to your friends, your chosen family. Alright? Remember this." And she just kisses your forehead, where she's pretty short and you're pretty tall. She kind of like has to like go up on her tippy toes.
Actually, I think sirens are shorter than the average humanoid. So if she's average height...
Okay, gotcha. Like, no, she's pretty short, just like 5'3", 5'2".
I'm like a couple inches shorter than her, though.
Oh, no kidding. So yeah, she actually like kind of kisses down on your forehead and she says, "Now, fly like the wind, little one. Don't forget, herald the arrival and the change."
Told me no, you jerk. And then I'll wink and leave.
And there's just like, as you kind of like turn around, there's like just that half second that she cannot hold it back, where there's just like two streams of tears that start flowing down her face as you start flying.
I will also drop the suggestion, because now that there's a new oath, I actually don't want them to start a fight once they get there. So I'll break the concentration on the suggestion.
Alrighty, sounds good. As you make your long flight back towards Astoria, the wind pushing in your face and ruffling your feathers, you already miss the presence of Kyra there next to you flying. The jovial nature and the jokes that you guys were sharing on the way there, certainly almost like this palpable silence.
It makes it definitely more difficult to fly, since I usually can't when I'm sad.
You definitely, it's kind of like you try to tell yourself jokes, and the 2 on your insight check actually keeps your spirits up, as you're just like, she's fine. She's putting on a show. She knows what she's doing. This is fine. As we switch back over to the rest of you guys, the 2 basilisks lay slaughtered before you guys upon the rock of Esther, as the blood kind of seeps into the sand and the cracky, rocky outcroppings and rocks all about there. You guys look as Minos, this man whose name you never learned, this Minotaur, as well as your friend Crane, have been turned into statues.
I just realized the one person I was hoping would be able to bring them back isn't coming back with me.
Do we know anything about basilisks, and if we can somehow turn them from not stone?
Everyone except for Rhodas, go ahead and make me a history check. Or you didn't make an active history check, right? All of you guys go ahead and make me a history check. Minus Crane and Minos, obviously. And it would just be so sad for you guys to have that knowledge locked away in rock.
Oh, okay, Yanni.
Oh, yeah.
I am a wizard, high intelligence.
Oh, that's true.
You're a wizard, Yeri.
I'm a wizard.
You, Yanni, obviously can tell there's that magical effect that turned Crane and this Minotaur into stone. You know that there is very powerful, often divine magic that is able to turn that back into flesh. And with what you've been told, the thing that comes to mind is the only priest that you guys have been told about in Astoria is Aesop, the priest at the Temple of the Dragonlords.
We need to find that Aesop guy. I think he might be able to help here. Now the real question is, do we bring this Minotaur back, or do I get to claim his bird for myself?
I think he seemed to be helpful in the fight. We should
The bird, you mean, right? Yeah, I know. That's why I want him.
I think we should help the Minotaur as well. It's the right thing to do.
Maybe he'll give me the bird out of gratitude for bringing him back.
You can ask.
If he doesn't offer it, then it's kind of I'm not that. I mean, I'll steal from the dead, but I'll steal from the living too, but not to their face.
Do we see anything interesting?
This eagle is just perched upon his horns, and it's kind of pecking at his now rock skull, and it cocks its head at you.
Hi, birdie.
Do we see anything interesting in this
birdie wanna? I don't see anything to feed. What a. Okay, I know what birds eat. What do metal birds eat? Anybody got a metal fish?
As it just kind of sits there still, perched upon the shoulder of this Minotaur.
It's a cool bird.
Rhodas is going to slowly approach the petrified Minotaur, carefully keeping his eye on the bird.
I'll pull Crane out of the water and bring her up to dry land.
You try to move her, and with your, wait, you are actually pretty beefy, right? Brissa actually ended up opting for that strength build, right? Yeah, you're kind of and you start pulling it along as make me an athletics check.
I have advantage on athletics. Oh, but I rolled a natural one.
No.
I drop Crane, she breaks her arm.
As you pull it along, you kind of get stuck on something, and as you try to pull it out, it's like, as you look down, yeah, certainly her left foot, the boots, looks a little bit shorter than it did. There's a little bit of something missing there. Ooh, how am I gonna explain that to Crane? Whew.
It's fine. Fine.
You think you can almost imagine Yanni saying in your head, "Just tell her the basilisk did it."
Good idea.
Or wrote this when he was cutting all of the stone. Like, sorry,
Hey, I
Rhodas,
do
cut
have
off your
another
foot,
thought.
sorry.
I mean, we do know two gods that are in town right now, and another one that's going to be back shortly. I hope.
Yeah, we could go see your father, Rhodas, and see if he can, pull a few strings.
I'm sure he has some kind of power.
As you guys kind of have that conversation, suddenly there is a bombastic "No!" coming from the city. As
Does it
suddenly
sound like
you hear that kind of like, again, sound breaking a barrier. And you see a small figure kind of rising from the city towards where the palace is.
was that your grandpa?
I make any check to see if I could tell.
Give me a perception check.
All right, I guess given our relative distances, was that your grandpa?
I've seen Vulcan 2 times, so
Yeah,
I could
you're
really
kind of
pick him
like
out from, like, 2
squinting
miles
at
away.
it there. It seems reasonable, only because it came from the middle of the city and flew towards the palace. So it doesn't seem unreasonable.
Let's head to the palace.
We don't have time. We don't have time to deal with this, and I'll carefully approach the Minotaur, and I'll just pat him on the shoulder and say, at least you got to take him with you, the one that got you.
As it kind of like tries to peck at your hand there for a second, and it kind of just nuzzles up against Minos' face.
Bro, snag my bird while you're there.
Actually, when Rhodas puts his hand on the shoulder of Minos, Moss will fly over and stand on his head and start pecking it.
Damn bird.
All right.
We must make our way over to the city. I don't know what we can do.
We can carry this
Yeah,
stack
we gotta get
into the city.
At least out of the water.
They're not going to erode that fast. I think.
Are they heavy?
Oh yeah, like significantly heavier. It is astounding.
All right, Rhodas is gonna try to hoist up this Minotaur statue
Yeah.
out of the water.
Go ahead and make me an athletics check as well.
Was he still raging, technically?
That's what I was gonna ask. I think I am.
Not
it's
for
1
long
minute,
enough to
right?
carry it up all the way.
Remember, if you don't attack something or be attacked, it
Yeah.
drops. Yeah.
Just smack yourself. No, just kidding. That's actually a barbarian thing. You can...
Athletics.
Yup. You good at those. Just don't roll a natural one.
I am. It's the only thing I'm good at.
Yeah, you kind of like... And it's just Herculean. And the way that you just kind of sling him over your shoulder and start stepping as per se, you're like, a little bit of help. And you kind of like try to like cover the foot.
I do.
Grab Crane. We must get to the temple. Not the
Palace?
Temple. Palace.
Are you guys going to the palace or the temple? They are actually in the same vicinity, so not a...
I feel like we would. Rhodas is certainly going to prioritize jumping to the palace where he believes Vulcan maybe just jumped to stop something happening at the palace. Maybe, who knows?
For sure.
I did want to see if there's anything interesting in that like sacrificial area, and it like. But then again, I don't know if you should probably take a sacrifice. I'll just look and see if there's anything interesting
Make
there
me a quick perception check.
before I hoist Crane up and take. take her away.
You look around and no, it seems like the sacrifices that were given at the rock itself were all of the organic kind. However, as you get closer towards Sidon's shrine, you do see that there are offerings of myrrh, of incense, and different kinds of much more nice looking luxury items. Now, no coins or anything like that, but some of the stuff like silk and the like is laid at the feet of the statue.
I was more looking for like a basilisk nest or whatever. See if like there's like any eggs or anything.
In fact, you do not spot where the basilisks have come from, which leads you to believe that they must have a nest, but certainly not easily accessible.
All right. Well, I will just pick up Crane then, and carry Crane.
As you guys carry them back up this path, there are multiple people that kind of stop as you guys are walking by. And you see some merchants that have oxen kind of with them, like trying to lead them down towards the rock as they kind of give you guys a look, and one of the merchants kind of waves you down, like pretty much just a farmer that has like the nicest toga he has. It still has like a bunch of like the mud trackings at the bottom there, very simplistic stitchings, but still nice enough. So he goes,
did you run into the basilisks, yeah?
Yes, we killed 2 of them.
Yeah, how'd you guess?
Oh, you did?
We did.
Oh. But does that mean no more sacrifice then? Oh. Oh, blessed day. Blessed day. Peter be praised, blessed day. No more sacrifice!
as he kind of takes this meager and incredibly underfed cow and kind of like leads her back up the stairs, and you guys, even carrying these heavy statues, are able to move faster than he. But he is hollering behind you guys, and they're certainly murmuring as you guys are starting to walk in. And especially once you guys get through the southern gate, you draw more and more eyes as people certainly put one and one together in what happened to you guys. But the fact that the rest of you guys are not turned into stone and dead is starting a lot of conversations. After about 15 or so minutes, you guys are able to snake your way through the boulevard inside of the central path.
Is anyone else reacting to this earth-shattering sound that we heard, and like someone screamed? Like, it seems like people would.
Yeah,
I'm just wondering if.
Make me an insight check, Rodus.
Potentially, the rumors that Vulcan is actually the god would be confirmed to anyone who saw him flying. I don't think he's gonna be able to keep that cover up anymore.
Rodus, what'd you get?
I got a 2.
A 2. You're just too focused, like the life of your friend and your eyes is hanging in the balance. Like, yeah, you know that all of that happened, but like people are talking and whispering all about you. That's pretty much all that you're really catching in. You don't care. You don't care about anything but that. As you're pushing through the streets and up into that, there seems to be a bunch of buzz at the temple. You see multiple of the Astorian centurions kind of bunched up and kind of like keeping people away from the temple as you're getting closer. There also seem to be some priests of Sidon intermingled with other people as you're getting closer, and you kind of like try to get past, and a centurion kind of puts up his hand.
Old citizen! Nobody's allowed in the temple right now. The king is not here.
But this is Rodus, the son of the king.
Kind of looks at you, and then sees.
See the resemblance?
Sure, but that changes nothing about the fact that the king is not here.
You have Elis here who can help us with this condition that our friends are afflicted with.
And kind of looks.
Oh, did you fight the basilisks? You fools!
We killed them, not just fought.
They attacked us. We went for a swim.
You went for a swim at the rock of...
And
I brought my friends. They're tourists, you know.
As that conversation kind of goes on, suddenly there's
the stone one's a Taurus.
No.
There's a little kind of like a clearing of the throat that is very purposely done. as the individual that is standing behind you guys there seems to be an elf. Incredibly long ears, almost ending in like hairy tufts. Beautiful brown hair that is kind of braided in the front. You see it as indeed a very androgynous man, you presume, but very interesting, very elegant. Has some eyeshadow, very well manicured eyebrows, and you see the eyelashes seem to almost kind of curl at the same time. There's a very low cut robe that he's currently wearing. Upon his shoulders is kind of just like hung these this interesting mantle that upon the face has like these golden dragon frescoes in it, and you see actual dragon teeth that you presume at least kind of like hanging there, kind of stitched into the fabric itself. Very, very low cut, and as you can see, just like a perfectly flat and very, very, very skinny chest. As that person just steps forward and goes, "It is all right. They can come with me. You must be the chosen ones, if I'm not mistaken, yes?"
And I'm guessing you're Aesop.
Yes. You're very perceptive.
I have my moments. I'm Yanni. This is Rhodus, Rissa, Crane. Well, Crane's the stone one. And I don't know who the Minotaur is, but he was helping us, so we owe him.
Huh.
Tap the Minotaur on my shoulder.
Is his name Pat?
Sorry, say that one more time, Yanni.
I was just being silly. Is his name Pat?
Nice.
Pat the Minotaur?
As Aesop goes, well, this is certainly, unfortunate. Please, if you would be so kind, bring them with me, if you would.
Oh shit, what did we do with Casaria?
Left her body down there, man. We carried the rock.
She's still like face down on the beach. But you know what? It's Casaria.
Justin,
It's not
if you're
the first time.
this, oops.
Justin is probably dying. He's like thinking, "Oh my god, they're leaving me behind. They're leaving me behind."
He's probably been swearing at us for like half an hour.
He's done with us.
You sons of bitches.
Amazing. That is amazing.
Fine, keep your new rock friends.
Oh man.
She wasn't stoned. She wasn't priority.
Oh man. All right.
Wake up down on the beach with a hangover. It'll be fine.
We'll just go with that one. But
They walk off with the stone statues, and I'm just like, there's just no way. Hopefully the tide didn't come in.
But yeah, as you guys follow Aesop, you guys end up going towards this large domed building. It's a shrine that sits at the end of this quiet street that runs into the wall of the gorge itself. It's a large stone building with a copper dome upon it, The pediment above the door bears a marble engraving of the legendary dragon, Balmitria. Inside the building, as you guys are stepping, there's a strong sense of strong smell of incense in the air. You can hear the muttering of prayers as the priests of the shrine carry out different daily rituals. All of them kind of stop as they see Aesop and do like a respectful bow towards him. As he says, "Welcome to the shrine of the Dragonlords. It is my life's work that you're looking upon here.
It's beautiful.
Flattered. Thank you very much. Please, follow me to my chambers." As you guys are walking, there are just these beautiful black marble floors here with all of this white marbling in between. You see the pillars themselves seem to be made out of beautiful granite with all of these like actual golden bands set to the side. As you guys are walking by an alcove there, you see that there were metal bars that had been pushed aside. And you see that upon a pedestal, something probably once stood, but discarded on the side is this metal holder, some kind of like a presentation device that is discarded to the side, and all of this weird purplish liquid spilled all about. As Aesop kind of sees you guys looking at it, he goes,
Ah, yes. Apologies for that. We have been too heartbroken to truly clean it yet, but it is certainly something that has been weighing heavy on us. The horn.
What is it? Oh.
Oh, you know.
We heard.
It was one of the relics that I treasured most. Balmitria was phenomenal. They all were. Before they disappeared.
So, I have some kind of good news for you, I guess. We've been tasked by the Oracle to recover the horn, basically.
And drink from it.
But we got to recover it to do that. So,
Wait, this makes
bonus
sense.
for you, which leads to our question, which really has nothing to do with that. I mean, we were going to do that anyway, but
Your friends, absolutely.
anything you
Follow
can do for
me.
our friends?
Come this way. Sorry.
including the unconscious one we left on the beach.
You left someone on the beach.
There was this whole thing going on with like seeing people fly through the air from a distance and big booms and stoned people and so anyway, I'll be right back. I'm gonna run out real quick to one of the guards and be like, hey, can somebody go get our unconscious friend off the beach by the Rock of Estor and bring her up here, please? Ready, please?
Make me a perception check, Yanni.
Perception.
I'm so glad you added that damn sound. Do you want to tell the chat what it was?
It was a 1.
All right.
Numero uno.
You kind of yell that out. You like halfway run out of the gate. You yell it at someone that looks like a guard, and you immediately turn back towards the temple. That is taken care of.
All right, awesome.
As you
Somebody's
head back,
getting Casaria for us. We're all set.
as Aesop says, I loved fostering. This one reminds me much of some of my favorite ones. So excitable, so chatty. Sees the world in such a wonderful way. But please, that is the reason we are here. What an odd day. Please, follow me. And
Okay.
as he kind of like starts walking, and he's incredibly like slender yet tall, like maybe 6'2", but just like probably as broad as your calf, or not your calf, like your quadriceps, Rhodos, as you're stepping there. Incredibly skinny man. You guys step into this chamber itself, and it's kind of like a round design. Has like you guess probably more for decor, pillars that run all along the room. You see there's one window that is actually just kind of set into the ceiling like a skylight. Other than that, all of the walls are hung with tapestries that are depicting different successes of the war, the First War, where you see scene after scene of dragons being ridden by riders, putting lances into the chests of the Gigans, the Cyclopes, and driving before them fiery breath the peoples of the Faefolk. It seems like this individual certainly is a fan of the Dragonlords. As he...
I sidle up to Barissa as we're seeing all this and go, it's kind of ironic that this guy's going to bring Crane back, isn't it?
That is true, but do you see all these pictures? Aren't they so cool? And
Yeah, this place is neat.
Swing Crane around and like bump her against like one of the pillars. I'm like,
Careful, you might hurt the pillar.
I'm just kidding.
the Crane's head falls off then.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hopefully,
Hopefully, if we just smear a little mud on it.
As long as you connect it all together, it'll be fine. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. I think I left her toe on the beach, so if she
What?
comes back without a toe, it's the basilisk's fault.
All right. As
Should I go yell at somebody else to go get that?
She doesn't need those. Growing back, right? I think maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I've never lost a toe, so I don't know if I can grow one back, but I'd guess not.
I still have Yanni's weird tooth.
Probably turned to dust.
Oh yeah.
All right. As you guys discuss the benefits of potentially sending someone else to recover a broken
a broken toe. You guys set down the statues in front of the. It's kind of like a pedestal / desk that Aesop has, and he kind of rifles for some stuff underneath, and out of a basket he pulls out 2 scrolls as he sets one upon this little pedestal table and goes up in front of Crane and undoes this brass ring upon it and then scrolls it out. And there, for those of you that can read it, are just these beautiful celestial runes, which really just look like constellations of the sky written out in a script. And as he starts incanting it, it sounds more like a chant. And as he's kind of like chanting that forth, all of you guys that have any kind of connection to magic, which I believe are most of you guys, you can feel the ripples in the ether, in the weave about you, starting to emanate off of Aesop, as this is certainly some powerful magic that is being cast. And as suddenly there's just like this golden light that seems to just like suddenly emanate and glow from Crane's body. You guys watch as first upon her cheek there's just this filigree crack, and they just start appearing all over her, as suddenly this light just shines from the inside, and as it does, suddenly, almost like a cracking egg, Crane just like, and as you look around, you're like, avert your eyes, as you kind of look down at your left foot, there's just like the big toe missing and the 2 toes next to it, as you're like, and it's just like with the boot and everything else.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Welcome back.
She screams in agony, yeah. Okay. Gets her bearing after a couple seconds. Is there any water sources around?
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's a wash basin there.
I'll just make a little cast of ice on my foot for the time being.
Yeah, Barista said you got, like, it got bit off by the basilisk after it stoned you or something.
Brissa, thank you for saving me. I would have been probably would have been shattered without you.
We would have been shattered without you too.
It was all Brissa's.
I did kill one of the basilisks. How did you get Ro? I can't remember.
I had one taken from me from. Is Minos as well? Is he also undisintegrated at the same time or unpetrified?
You have him set down, and Aesop goes to cast the second scroll. And you aggressively interfere and make sure that Minos is never going to get out of it. I'm just kidding.
You burn it.
No, he looks better as a statue. I mean, it's just like...
Teaches you to steal more damn kill, boy. As Aesop casts this spell, again, the cracks appear, the golden light from the inside, and all of the stone kind of crumbles off of you, Minos. As you burn
you think you're clever? Take that, varmint. Oh.
Welcome back.
We figured it was the least we could do since you were helping us. I mean, or at least you were attacking the same things we were attacking. So, welcome back.
You can say help, Yanni.
I don't know if he meant to help us or if it was just coincidental. I didn't want to, assume.
Y'all are the light of Thalia, is that right?
Most of it.
Yeah, we're still missing one, but yes, we have the group, and Crane's toes, which we're eaten by a basilisk.
I mean,
Wait, where's Casaria?
Passed out on the beachhead, so I'm missing at least 2.
She passed out. So somebody's bringing her.
Wait, on the beach?
Yeah, I told a guard to bring her back for us. It was a little chaotic. There was an explosion, and we think it was Vulcan went flying through the sky, and...
On that, I may be able to shed some light for the light of Thalia. Excuse me. Yes, indeed. It appeared that Vulcan landed in the courtyard before the temple, and, well, quickly stormed into the palace, and thunderous talking came forth. From what I was able to
hear from some of the guards immediately thereafter. Pitor and, well, Vulcan both left. They flew off.
And where's Lyra?
That's probably not good news. She's not back yet. Wherever she went. I'm guessing she's with Kira. Since Kira wasn't with the other two gods.
That flying's a handy skill, ain't it, Mouse?
Are you
Mouse?
speaking
His
of
name's Mouse?
Kyra, the
But he's a bird. Why do you call him Mouse?
His name is Mas.
Moss.
Short for Mas que Nada. The first bird I made, his name was Nada. This one is more of Nada.
Oh. That's a language I don't speak, but that's cool. So I guess since we're introducing the bird, we should probably introduce the rest of us. I'm Yanni. And that's Rodus and Brisa and Crane and we got some other friends that aren't here at the moment. What's your name, big fella?
He'll hold out his arm with the golden bracer, and Moss will alight upon it, and he'll say,
It's really cool.
You can call us Mas y Manos. Those are more or less our names.
I feel like that should be funny. I don't know why. That's cool. So you're Minos then, if he's Mas.
That's right.
Okay. Hey, can I ask you something real quick? And there's not really a real reason for this, but can you say it's high noon?
I mean, that is technically two questions. And I'm not sure what time it is, being as we are inside.
Okay, that's fair.
This is quadruple trademarked.
We are gonna get completely banned, completely taken off.
By me,
Twitch.
I'm just gonna voluntarily do it. Like,
This is what you were afraid of, was me and him playing off of each other, isn't it?
no, this is great.
Okay, so for all seriousness, your bird's really cool. How do I get one?
Well, what you do, you have to be born as a badass.
Oh, then I'm already out.
Well, there is a second-hand thing you can do.
Okay.
You have to inherit one, but they're very fragile. I mean, I said I already had one bird. This is the second bird.
Okay. Did somebody give you the bird?
No. I usually am the one who gives other people the bird.
Oh, okay.
That's how this machine works. I mean,
So did you build it?
I did.
Oh, that's
That's
fantastic.
part of that whole being a badass thing.
Can you teach me to build it?
All right, you got some time? Like,
Not right now. We're kind of in the middle of something.
a lot of time.
Okay, maybe we'll set something up for later. We're kind of supposed to be like saving the world or something.
Well, I don't know what all happened back there, but I was trying to destroy the altar of Sidon.
Oh, yeah, we didn't get that far.
We did kill the basilisk, though. You got one.
Rodus broke a lot of stuff when he was not hitting the basilisks.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's not going to be good enough.
Yeah, was one of the two rocks that he destroyed the rock of Vestor?
Cool.
See, I went there hoping to have a altercation.
I see what you did there. That's clever. I like it.
I will say really quick, make me a history check, all of you guys, on Estor.
Me too, or no?
Yeah, not you, sorry.
That's
Ooh,
fine.
that is a nice sound. You're right.
I didn't hear it.
Visual cue as well.
Yeah, that's
Right.
cool.
That was very cool.
I guess I don't have the volume up high enough on Chrome right now.
Yanni, you think it is fascinating that they are sacrificing to a titan at the rock of one of the most infamous Dragonlords in history. Estor Archelander was one of the most ruthless, brutal, and merciless Dragonlords, responsible almost single-handedly for the eradication and genocide upon the Gigans.
He's not a very nice guy.
That's what that was? Disgusting.
So,
as Gray, you kind of look around and you realize the chamber that you're really in, you're just like,
Okay, so, hey, Mr. Aesop? That's okay, finish your drink.
Yes, the ambrosia is delicious, but yes.
I'm sure it is. It's the drink of the gods, after all. So they say. So first, thank you so much for your help. Thank you so much for your help.
Of course.
Do you have any thoughts on the fact that they've been sacrificing to that Malacca Titan at the Rock of Estor?
Many. And in fact, I have petitioned our king many a times to try to get this dreadful practice to be stopped altogether. The problem truly being that he was getting more and more desperate. The sacrifices have been going on for so long. At this point, the farmers themselves were fueling it on, thinking that it might be the only way that Sidon may be stopped. When they constructed that shrine next to the rock, it was despicable. These people...
Yeah, that's pretty messed up.
But...
Sounds like it's time for us to rock the Casbah.
What's a Casbah?
I don't know, but it sounds good, don't it?
Okay, yeah, I like it. I thought maybe that was another word in that language that you speak that I don't.
You must be an epic poet.
I mean... Maybe he doesn't know it. Let's see, I guess we can't really screw with that until after everything, or we would be breaking our oath. But you didn't take an oath, did you, Mr. Minos? You didn't take an oath to not interfere with this sacrifice, did you?
I did not. What are the terms of said oath?
Oh, it doesn't matter because you didn't take it, so you can go wreck that rock, or the shrine on that rock, and it won't... There's nothing we can do. It doesn't get us in any trouble. We just can't help you.
Right.
Well, actually, can we? Can we?
You may want to consider that most gods that, call Thelia their own, often protect particularly significant shrines of theirs. So you may be struck with a curse.
I'm not telling him to do anything he didn't just say he was going to do anyway, though, so... But yeah, he's got a point.
I do also think we might have already stopped some of the sacrifices because, when we were walking up and we told people that, we killed the basilisks, they said the sacrifices were over. So I don't know if the basilisks were part of the sacrifice. So I don't know if we technically broke our oath because we went and killed the basilisk. I don't.
That is...
Our oath was
we didn't... Yeah, our oath was just to get
rode us to the rock. So I think the only way we could break it is to take away the rock, which is...
Wait, we didn't say we had to take him to the rock where the rock currently sits.
But if we destroy it, is what I mean. But you have a point.
I don't think we can move the whole rock. I don't think that would work.
Basilisks or not, zealots will find a way to sacrifice.
I was gonna say, I'd never heard of sacrifice by basilisk until just now. Like with this whole thing today. So
welcome to a story.
Were you able?
Dreadful place.
Were you able to see where Peter and Vulcan flew off to? What direction were they?
The Centurions said that they flew north, which worries me, as the terms of the Oath of the Peace, as long as it is still in effect, would prevent the gods from doing such an act. But if they strike the first blow, maybe the assault that seems to be almost inevitable upon Astoria may be turned aside? I don't know.
Who will be left in charge of my father's stead?
Normally, Nora. Currently...
Well, we're getting her back if everything goes according to plan.
Perhaps it's time for Prince Rothus to take his place.
Aesop, are you saying that I'm the only descendant of the king that's...
Oh.
King before level 4. Look at that.
I don't know that I'd be going to jump into such conclusions. That might be one of Aesop's fables.
I never wrote a fable like that. I do like to ride on foxes. Foxes
I was gonna say, this guy
favorite.
seems pretty trustworthy. I don't think he's spinning yarns.
An elf fox riding elf. Would you
Yeah.
like to get us into the palace?
Where the heck is that guard with our friend, with Casaria?
If we could investigate a way where they were going or where they might be headed, there must be something else, something in the palace that might give us an inkling.
Well, I can see if I can't persuade. You all must be famished. Your toes look terrible. I'm sorry there's nothing that I can do particularly about that, but condolences.
They've gone quite numb, but they will definitely hurt when I melt this ice.
They will, I'm sure. Maybe there's a bronze fitting that Vulcan can make you or something. That looks painful. Well,
So
If
you
this
don't.
affects my swimming, I'm going to be so pissed off.
Just remember, it's better to be pissed off than pissed on.
Luckily for
I
you,
guess unless you're into that, I don't judge.
I have
Right.
always said that same thing. Yeah, very common expression.
luckily for you, the prosthetics in this culture are quite rich. They do practice the toga.
This guy's funny. Don't
He
you think this
certainly
guy's funny? I
is
think he's really funny.
something.
I don't get it.
Well, follow me.
I have a -1 to intelligence.
Why don't we go to the dining room? There, you may be able to refresh yourself. It is almost dinner time after all. I'm sure after that fight you must be famished. I will see what I can find out from the guards. I will be back momentarily.
Hey,
Please,
thanks.
make yourselves comfortable.
Guys, I feel really, really bad that we left Casaria down there.
Where are
Like-
we?
Like we're in the temple of the Dragonlords across from the palace.
Oh,
You didn't miss
Dragonlord
much,
Central
but
Place.
there was a lot happened there. Yeah.
is it still the same day?
Yeah, it was. I mean, you were like a statue for like 20 minutes. I mean, it really
Oh.
wasn't that long.
Oh, okay. I still
Um,
feel stiff. Oh,
I bet.
Hmm.
And I'm sorry about your toes. Yeah. I don't know how they bit your toes off like that, but that's what Brissa said happened.
I have a friend who is missing an arm from like here down. He learned to whittle with his feet. It was pretty cool. I mean, this is just a few toes.
Yeah, I mean, balance is kind of important though. But anyway, yeah,
As you guys are being seated and given food by the acolytes that are definitely running around, and you can see all of them do have a silhouette of a dragon kind of like embroidered in some piece of their clothing. Crane, I'm imagining, would probably feel relatively uncomfortable in this place. Brissa, you are on cloud 9. This is fantastic. As you guys are being set food on over the next 10 minutes, as you guys are kind of like starting to eat and nibble away, it certainly is interesting. Like, Lyra and Kyra have not been back. Lyra, as you have been flying for about 45 minutes or so, you suddenly see as you see two figures. Go ahead and make me a perception check.
Oh, okay. It was a 10. I instinctively flinch. I'm like,
Yeah, as you kind of like do a sideway barrel roll to kind of get out of the way. They're just flying directly towards the camp. You can't really make out what or who they may be, but as you keep on flying towards the city. Aesop returns after another 5 or so minutes and lets you guys know, well, it appears that the king's father, Vulcan, was extremely upset. And it also appears that there was shouting about his daughter, Kyra, the king's sister. Something about curses and bad decisions and trust misplaced.
Yeah, the Godfather thinks that she makes a lot of bad decisions. I mean, I've only met him once for a couple minutes, but that was something he brought up.
Huh. I've spent some time with Vulcan. He's a hard one to try to converse with sometimes. He can be a bit gruff. But I have heard that if he takes a liking to you, he's quite warm and cuddly almost. Even though I would never use that term with him. He's supposed to be nice. I'll take people's words for it. But
I mean, I liked him well enough. But, you know, like I said, it was only a few minutes. And I'll be fair, I was a little bit, I was a little bit fangirling because, he was like my fourth god that I met in person in less than 2 weeks. So it's just kind of like overwhelming.
Absolutely, and we in Astoria are blessed with 2 of them.
Yeah, well, you had 3 for a little while, till Kira flew off today.
Oh, she was here.
Yeah, she came with us. We're friends.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
That is good company to keep between her and Versia, of course. I do enjoy Nev. She is a riot. But,
I don't know. She was all hung up over some guy when we saw her, but I mean, everybody has their bad days.
Interesting.
I assume it was a guy. Maybe that's a false assumption. Some love interest. I'll put it that way, because I don't judge. I already covered that. But yeah. So hey, seriously, where's Kisaria? Somebody was supposed to be bringing her back from the beach.
And it is then, Yanni, that you get, you shouted a command at someone.
That son of a bitch!
Paying attention, and that definitely was not carried out.
I mean, sounds like at this point you should change your name to Sandy.
Yeah, maybe. Wait a second.
Who carried me back?
That was Ro.
Definitely too small.
No, it was not me. I am not that awesome. That is, well, I might be that awesome, but I'm not that kind of awesome. That would be Ro.
You're much heavier when you're petrified, believe it or not.
Have you picked me up when I'm not petrified? Like, what is this point of comparison?
I haven't. But I expect after that I'd have no problem.
I mean, I think you probably need to pick him up.
All right. I appreciate what you did for me, but whatever it takes to get your rocks off, I don't judge.
I mean, it's it's kind of just like basic physics, like density, and you guys know about that, right? You've read the scrolls on that. I can't remember the philosopher's name that wrote it out, but anyway, Ro, Brissa, one of you stronger.
Match.
Okay, Ro's busy. Brissa, you're pretty beefy too. Can you go get Kisaria? I'm sorry, I do it myself, but we all know that it just ain't gonna happen.
Brissa is not paying attention. She's just wandering around looking at all the Dragonlord stuff. So
hey, Brissa, why don't you at least show Aesop your friend? He'd probably like to meet.
That is. From what I've heard so far from this group, this is probably some kind of sexual joke,
Aesop,
which I can appreciate some low humor.
So that's kind of a new thing. Like, we don't usually go that direction.
It is certainly getting to the point where I am even a little. As a father, I just have to say this has been wonderful.
So maybe you should just like go distract her, or get her attention away from your beautiful temple, and tell her you would like to meet her pseudo dragon friend.
Oh.
By the way, Aesop, I do appreciate what you did for me, and the other one over there. I do have to admit that first I was afraid. I was petrified.
I have heard enough. You are welcome. I'm just like walking towards Brissa. All right.
Hey, Mr. Minos, I hate to ask a favor of you, but will you come with me and get our friend Kisaria? Because I just can't carry her.
Absolutely.
Okay, thanks. So we're gonna go do that. You guys do your thing.
As the two of you guys start stepping out of the temple,
Oh, sorry. Thought I hit mute.
so juicy too. Damn, I was like full surround sound experience. I was in that nose. God damn.
Sorry, I really did.
Oh,
Like I clicked. I guess I clicked right next to it, and then I saw everybody pause. I was like, oh shit.
It's like I saw it happen too, and I saw that there was no muting. I was like, oh. Anyway,
sorry about that.
Are quite
Sorry about
strong.
that.
I do consider myself a good mobile carrier.
Lyra, you have been pushing yourself as much as you could as your wings are starting to tire to the extreme. Make me a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
A natural 20.
And with that, you cut some minutes off. As Minos
Gotta
and
go
Yana
on
are kind of
that.
talking, you're flying into that courtyard in front of the palace. You see there's a lot of commotion and people talking. You're like, uh-oh. As you see Yanni coming out of this weird copper dome structure with a minotaur at his side, and you're just like, what happened while I was gone? Anyway, I have bigger news. As you just like, you see Lyra just swoop down extremely fast and just almost like go into a run as she stops in front of you.
Hey,
As soon
where
as
you
I
been?
land and I don't have to worry about flying anymore, it just turns into like deep, guttural, like the crying where it sounds like you can't catch your breath.
Okay,
Just
I'm
for,
happy
like,
to
a
see you
minute
too,
or so.
but it's not worth all that. What's going on? Where you been?
I compose myself as much as I can, which is not a lot. And I pick myself up. I have made a mistake.
Yeah, we all have.
Where's everyone else?
You're inside. Well, except for Casaria, we gotta go get her from the beach. Long story. Also, this is our new friend Minos.
Howdy. Seems like you carry a heavy burden. I know what that's like.
And he pats Mouse.
Okay, and I'll just
She doesn't appreciate puns as much as I do. Sorry.
I'll start walking inside. But as I'm walking, Yanni, you'll probably want to hear this. You maybe also.
All right. We'll go get. I mean, she's already been down there this long. If something bad was gonna happen, it would have already. So we'll go get her in a minute. Once you tell us what you gotta tell us.
And I'll walk into this palace, I guess, that I've never been in, but I am not focused on that right now.
We're all having dinner.
Yeah. Oh, that was quick. You got Casaria already.
Better. I got Lyra.
Oh. You're back.
Yeah, we carried her all the way from the beach.
No, that's the other one.
Why were you at the beach, Lyra?
She was, and he's confused. It's all good.
Are you look worse for wear?
Yeah, I probably do. I probably look rough. I'll just sit down. So, a lot has happened. I made a sole decision to try and help. I felt like I wasn't helping enough. So I had Kyra take me to Gaius's encampment. I was
What?
planning on tricking one of them into attacking Rhodus so that they would break the oath. And in the process, I was spotted by a dragon under Gaius's command that he has at the encampment. And before it could kill me, Kyra intervened, and she has sworn a new oath with Gaius to sacrifice herself instead of Rhodus in return for me being spared.
What?
This must be what my father and his father were upset about.
So we are free of our oath now?
As far as I know, yes.
Okay.
That's not.
What the fuck?
We must save Kyra.
Did she play more tricks?
Don't worry, it gets worse.
Great.
So
It gets worse.
Thanks for giving us the good news
So,
first. Soften
Without
the blow.
anybody else to do something that was a pretty good idea, but we could have done it together and helped. And now our goddess friend is dead.
Crane, can you fly?
No,
Do you know how long it took me to get there?
no.
A long time. Rhodas would have been dead before we made it.
What is the other thing?
Well, there's two other things. There's a part of the oath that I was not privy to. Gaius made Kyra swear to take a second oath without me being present. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it affects, but there was a second part, and I'm sure it's not good. Also,
Does that seem unfair to anybody else? It's like finding a magic lamp and wishing for more genies, you know what I mean?
What's a genie?
Oh, they're a fey spirit. There's an old story someone once told me. I don't think now is the time.
Okay, anyway, back to the matter at hand.
also, in the process of not dying and trying to keep myself alive, while I was disguised, I gave up some information to General Gaius to convince him that I was not up to anything. So he also knows about the hammer.
There are worse things. Lyra.
Ah, boy.
How did that hurt us?
I don't
Well, I guess
know.
it doesn't now. If I mean, other than he knows that we've got it just in general, but
One less caught up, slave.
But if we killed the basilisks, they can't do the sacrifice anymore because that's how they were doing the sacrifices, right? Like, I'm just, you know.
You
I'm
fought
sure they'll find a way.
basilisks?
Do we have any confirmation of that?
I'll show you my toe.
Conjecture.
My foot.
I'm sure they have plenty of centaurs willing to sacrifice.
Aesop, how are they doing
pretty
the
sure
sacrifices?
Gaius is gonna do it himself. What are you talking about?
Didn't we see
So the dragon-
centaurs earlier? So they would know. They would know the basilisks are dead, or soon will.
Here
They don't
again,
need-
there's plenty of sacrifices done without basilisks
Sure,
every
for
day.
sure.
Guys,
Later.
when did we fight basilisks?
You were
How long were you flying?
It was like 3 hours,
Not
right?
about that long.
I mean, we wrapped it up like 45 minutes ago or so, I think, something like that. Had to lug Crane and Minos here, all the way up the hill here, and by we I mean those two, because I mean, come on,
Right, yeah,
But-
you're very small.
yeah,
We've been here
and
for a while.
yeah, I mean, I'm yeah, we all know that's a joke. I couldn't carry his bird, but yeah, yeah, they got turned to stone, but Mr. Aesop here was good enough to take care of
Hello.
that.
Pleased to meet you.
Sorry, Aesop. This is our friend Lyra. She's one of the two formerly missing members.
Hi,
From the party.
I sure hope you're trustworthy, because they just like spilled it all on the table there. All the beans.
Oh, we trust him. He's good.
So,
I
Casadia?
am flattered.
David, question. I know I rolled a bad perception check, but could I connect the dots if they told me that Petor and Vulcan flew that way, that's who I avoided because I thought I was about to run into them.
Yep.
Then I'll tell them that too, that they were headed towards Gaius.
That's not surprising. I wonder what's going to come of it, though, because I don't know if there's anything they can do.
All I know is that I think Kyra technically intervened, but I'm wondering if her sacrificing herself is the punishment that will bring.
I mean, the gods are like the mortals. You can do whatever they want. There just might be consequences.
Does that mean
like
our oath
death
is broken?
It sounds
Well.
like we're off the hook.
I am no oath bard, but if your account is accurate to the letter, then it appears to me that indeed by taking the new oath, the old oath was absconded of its, well, binding force. So, yes, you seem to be free of the binding that the oath had upon you.
I hate to be a stickler, but wouldn't the count be to the number and not to the letter?
You could count it either way.
Hmm.
There's this ancient culture, phenomenal. The Namors, I think they're called. Yeah, the Namors. They actually counted with letters. It's fascinating.
Oh yeah, the V's and the I's and the X's.
Exactly. You've read the scrolls.
I thought Namor lived under the sea.
I think
I
the
thought
big
he
one's
was
Look
track.
at Brissa. How long has this been going on?
Oh, wait, a long time. Yeah.
Weren't you guys leaving?
Yeah, they were going.
Oh yeah, we gotta go get shit.
Where's Casaria?
Yeah, that's the problem. We keep forgetting to go get her. She kind of passed out, and clearly
Well,
she
the
hasn't
good news
woken.
is-
Well, if she woke up yet, she hasn't found us.
She has
So-
secured a beachhead for us.
Something like that. Yeah. All right, let's go. I guess. I mean, it doesn't have to be you, Mr. Minos. It could be Ro or Brissa, but somebody who's stronger than me that could carry her. Please come.
No,
and-
no,
and-
you two, please. Please, you big, strong heroes, we need your help.
Okay. So yeah, we'll go get Casaria. I feel bad.
All right. So, is it just the two of you guys that go down to the beach, or everybody?
That's up to
I
everybody
don't
else.
want to walk right now.
I'm
Yeah,
crying.
Shit.
After I've explained
That's fair.
everything, I'm back to just ugly sobbing.
Mm-hmm.
I think once they're gone, we all enjoy the silence.
You guys walk all the way.
Words are spoken to be broken.
Yeah, you
Sorry.
guys are walking through the town. Minos and Yanni, go ahead and make me perception checks.
Does it involve smell?
No.
Meh, that's decent.
You smell a lot of sweat, blood, and tears. But you guys overhear the same conversation. There's a lot of anxiety in the air. People are concerned. The king flew off. The king actually flew into action for once, literally. But the way that he flew and the context that he flew with, the fact that Vulcan, whom many expected to be the god as well, flew with him certainly bodes ill. As people are getting anxious, the Centurions are starting to amass at the gates, and you're overhearing more and more conversations that are concerned about the consequences, as you were saying, Minos, of the actions of gods, playing with them as pawns. You guys ultimately make it back to the beachhead, and there, you guys see in the spot where Casaria had fallen,
Oh,
the
no.
same robes, but the skin as that of alabaster white, beautiful, unblemished human. Long brown hair cascades down the back as she's kind of like laying there with the hair kind of covered over her cheek and curled around her face.
We sort of snake our way up to her.
No.
So
I'm
you
gonna kick you.
you
I'm gonna
you
kick you. Kidding.
you may or may not have noticed before all that stuff happened, because she passed out like right as you went running off that rock.
Falling off the rock.
Whatever. I was giving him the benefit of the doubt. But she was a Medusa this morning.
I had heard in my investigations about the line of Thylea that you did travel with one such.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of a group of misfits in a way, but I mean, you see that as not a Medusa, right? That's not just me having some kind of fit?
I mean, all of you people without the horns and the hooves kind of look the same to me.
Okay, but like you don't see snakes for hair, right?
No, that is a distinction that I can make on the regular.
Okay. All right. I hope this is still Casaria.
You see as there's actually a little bit of heavier cloud cover, and something seems to be moving in from the north. This just like completely ironclad black clouds.
Well,
You don't see any
if
lightning
that's where she
strike, it's
was,
just
I reckon we ought to just take her back.
What do you make of that? That thunderhead.
Yeah, I don't like that. Don't much fancy for it raining on my parade.
Oh, I think rain's gonna be the least of our problems. We're gonna look at that.
No, you think that's your fellas who flew up north and?
I think that's something that Sidon's doing, because that Malaka's got it in for us.
and you see a massive lightning bolt that spreads into 100 tributaries, striking one of the peaks of the mountain north of you, and it's almost like this fan, this kind of like this fan of lightning that spreads out with a central line.
Gods and there's big dick energy in the sky.
Yeah.
Biggest one yet.
We need to get. I think that's her. I mean, it's wearing her clothes. The frame's kind of the same. We need to get her away from the river before it floods.
All right, that's no problem. Moss, see that thunderhead? Don't fly too high.
Okay. Let's go. Quick. This is bad.
We
Alrighty.
also see the thunder gathering from where we're at, like up at.
Oh yeah, you guys absolutely do. Minos, heads or tails?
Well, you know, I'm Minotaur, so I gotta go with tails.
Nice. All right. As you reach for the front and kind of like try to grab her, and Yanni kind of like it's like the giant and the beanstalk. I forget which one of the fables. It's a German fable where it's like the giant is carrying the tree and the man kind of like pretends like he's carrying it. I forget what it's called in English. But anyway, so as you kind of grab around the front and try to like hoist her up, suddenly you the hair itself seems to kind of shimmer and move, and seems to move on its own accord as you suddenly get a bite in your arm that certainly feels like the sting of a snake.
What just happened?
As you then notice that this seems to be an illusion upon Casaria.
Well, your friend has a nice a fainting party trick. I think she's still the way you expect she is. Looks like all along there was a snake in that boot.
Scotta, what is going on? I'm confused.
You take 6 points of piercing damage, by the way, Minos. Make a Constitution saving throw.
I guess the snakes don't have a sense of humor.
Constitution, right?
They
Yeah.
don't share a brain.
but you're able to shrug off the poison as it goes into you, as you then kind of more carefully kind of grab around, and you guys actually kind of switch positions, and you just put a bag over her head as the snakes still try to bite through it, and you guys are then carrying her through the streets.
they don't like me when she's awake. I have to like feed them a mouse, and we're not gonna get into where does the mouse go when the snakes eat the mouse. I tried to ask and was just told let it go. So
however, as you guys are carrying her back through the streets, there's a lot of activity. But before we get there, what do the rest of you guys do up in the Temple of the Dragonlords?
I'd like to comfort Lyra, and just kind of sit with her and let her speak to me, unless I'm sitting there for too long and get impatient and then ask a super question to push her to talk to me. But for the time being, I will patiently sit next to her with an arm around her shoulder, just comforting her with a little physical touch.
All right.
Brodus wants to get a good person.
Briss is just running around, looking at all the dragon stuff and seeing if there's seeing if there's anything that's like memorabilia, and she's gonna ask Aesop, can I have this? Every time she finds something.
Make
just
me an
running around back and
investigation
forth.
check as you're kind of looking over all of these murals here and trying to decipher, try to absorb as much as you can as quickly as you can. Make me it with advantage because, yeah, if there's anyone that is into this stuff, it would be Brissa.
At least I have advantage.
Don't forget to call it out.
I got a 12.
Right.
I'm not very investigation savvy.
You kind of look over stuff, and there's some weird scrollings that you don't understand, don't speak that language, and you kind of just try to absorb. You kind of look at some scrolls and this is amazing. You need to come back here. And as you look through it, you actually kind of stop for a second as you kind of stumble for a sec. And you take a couple steps back to look at this mural that you had just looked at. And what you see here seems to be this incredibly well-built warrior, clearly depiction, kind of that side view silhouette drawing, Grecian drawing, right? And upon this warrior's arm sits a tiny, tiny dragon, much like the pseudo-dragon that you carry now, except hoisted into its claws, holding up towards that warrior, seems to be a large egg that the warrior accepts. You follow the mural as you go along it, and you see that the egg seems to be sheltered and cared for, put into a fire by the warrior and stoked. You keep following the mural, and there you see that the egg hatches, and out of it, a small draconic figure comes. And as you follow the mural along, you see that this warrior seems to be growing up and older with this dragon, becoming a lord. As Aesop just kind of walks up behind you. Ah, yes. How the original Dragonlords became the Dragonlords, fostering young dragons. There's a bond that they share that is indescribable to those who are not exposed to it.
So the pseudo dragons brought them eggs, and then is that what happened?
It appears that some of them indeed were almost like guides to the first Dragonlords. So, yeah, I was told by my husband that is how he received his mount, partner, his dragon.
I guess I'll look to my pseudo dragon that's probably still on my shoulder and be like, "Are you gonna bring me an egg one day?"
I didn't know that was part of the plan.
Yes.
It'd be so awesome. I have a
have
pseudo
no idea
dragon
how
too.
to do that, but I can definitely. I know that.
Can I talk like this for a sec? I don't. We have.
Do you want like another pseudo dragon egg? I'm not really ready for mating yet. I wasn't really serious about that yet. That seemed a little advanced for what I wanted from life quite yet. I want to see the world first, you know? Having children is just such a big I don't know, maybe get a dog first. They do pee everywhere still. You can use that as a trial run before you have like a pseudo dragon egg. They're a lot of work, you know? As that is the telepathic conversation you have with SRS / Goldie.
I'll tell him. I was more thinking like a dragon egg, like not a pseudo dragon egg. You're the only pseudo dragon I need. Don't you worry. You're my number one pseudo dragon.
As Aesop kind of interferes with, wait, you have already bonded with this one.
Yeah. This is my friend, and I'll like turn around and show him, make sure he can like see, like lift my like fur cloak a little bit.
May I? And he seems to be addressing the pseudo dragon back then. That gives you like a half glance as well, as the dragon kind of looks at you for a second, Brissa.
Go. I'm fine with it if you are. It's your choice.
Holds out his hands as the dragon kind of jumps into the hands and then quickly curls up. Thank you. Go on back. As he quickly gathers back around your neck, and Aesop just goes, it's been so long since I last held a dragon. Beautiful. And that's when all of you guys are like, what the hell? A couple priests already run to the front as they look, and that is when the first drops there's starting to come down upon Astoria. You guys ultimately make it back to the temple by the time that the rain is just absolutely starting to pour down.
How long are we from when we expected the sacrifice to... It was meant to happen like that night, right? So
like maybe an hour or 2 hours probably.
Okay.
As the rain cloud moves over and the lightning strikes high standing trees, tops of the mountain. You guys are all now together. Casaria's kind of just put upon a central kind of like altar there as she's being dried off by some of the acolytes. As you guys are all now standing at the side as Aesop goes, well, this is certainly bad foreboding. I hope the conversation went well. As you guys...
when I said I was parched, this is not the solution I had in mind.
You know, I mean, I'd rather had a big old cask of wine
as you
split
see
myself.
2 streaks, almost like tunnels, cutting through the rain and landing in front of the temple, as there's then just a shouting match between Vulcan and Pitor. As Vulcan goes,
she is a damned idiot girl. She should not have gone. Not on behalf of them, not on behalf of anyone. This is stupid.
As Pitor goes,
yes, but listen, she's her own woman. She gets to make her own decision. And I am her father!
As he's just like almost seems to be kind of like grabbing upwards. You see some of the lightning land into his hand and just strike down.
Damn it! Get away from me!
And as he kind of turns around in his anger, the water kind of going down, matting down his beard and his hair, with his one covered eye, his eye just focuses down on you, Lyra.
Gonna try and hide.
As he takes to the air again and flies away, as Pitor just is getting drenched in the rain. He starts walking towards you guys. You see centurions and noblemen that are trying to get in the good graces. He just kind of waves them all off as he's walking towards you guys. As he steps close, you can once again smell the wine upon his breath as he goes. Huh. Looks at you,
Lyra, and you can tell he's a very simplistic man. He doesn't have the words to formulate the complex emotions that are running through him, so he just snuffs some air out of his flaring nostrils and kind of just shakes his head in anger as he turns towards you, Rhodus, and puts a hand behind your neck and says, "Never, and I mean never, take an oath. All they do is ruin everything. Every time. Every time. Every time." As he just shakes his head and starts walking away from you guys.
I just yell, "I won't let it go to waste."
He just hangs his head and walks away from you guys.
Well,
And there's something else that you guys want to do. The next couple hours are spent in tense contemplation.
Do we know for sure that they're going to come back to the Rock of Estor? Lyra knew that, right? Okay.
We should go to the rock.
Set up an ambush, yeah.
All right.
We know where they're going to be. We're not under any oath to not interfere. We're free and clear.
We can always challenge the centaur. He seemed more than eager to do that.
Champion fight. We've already come up with the plan. We came up with it last week.
All right.
I thought that was yesterday.
Who's gonna challenge the centaur?
It was earlier this morning, actually, I think.
Was it? Oh man, it has been a day.
Mm-hmm.
I have stones in my head. I don't know what I'm talking about.
You guys certainly would have gotten a short rest in, so definitely mark that off.
Even me?
Yes, even you, Lyra. God.
Yay.
That makes her a happy warlock.
So maybe we could, as the light of Thylea, try to do a trial by combat as a champion of the goddess Kyra and a champion of the god Sidon.
I can't imagine why Sidon would give up a god who's agreed to sacrifice herself. For any trade-off.
Because we're not actually negotiating with a god, we're negotiating with a man. And, men can be compromised. You have two nymphs here who can manipulate the minds of men with the snap of a finger. I'm sure we can make something happen.
I cringe a little when Crane is talking about manipulating people. Because
Certainly.
that's how I got into this mess.
Andrew doesn't like that, but she thinks it's a good idea. She's overestimating her own power.
I think.
Been there.
She's not wise enough to
know, man.
make mistakes yet.
I don't know what we can do. I mean, I'd like to say we just ambush them and, send them all to Lutheria, but let's be honest. There's like a bazillion of them, and 7 of us if Mr. Minos here sticks around, which I'm not going to speak for him.
I'm ready to wrangle a centaur too.
I can't imagine that Peter's going to let in an entire centaur army into the city with no resistance. There
Peter has no troops.
The Centurions, but certainly nothing compared to the numbers that you're describing, Myra.
I guess how do the sacrifices work exactly, right? Is it just that they actually go up and they stab them, or is it they sacrifice it to the basilisks? I guess that's the part of clarification we need.
How much preamble is there?
Up until now, it was stringing people or oxen up to the rock, and then they were turned to stone, consumed, what have you, by either basilisks or other critters of the riverbed.
but the basilisks were the number one. Sometimes there were preambles, sometimes, especially as of late, where it had been almost becoming a routine to try to hit quantity rather than quality. They've just been left there, chained to the rock as they were then consumed.
But we know they're going to make a show out of this one. Okay.
As you guys go through, and after having taken that, hour or so, you find yourselves cutting through the streets, and the streets are actually surprisingly full, as people have been pushing towards the south. The closer you guys get to the beachhead, the more you realize it's actually incredibly difficult to get through. Ultimately, you get to kind of like where that massive pillar of a rock is blocking the path, and you can see the rock down below, and you finally understand all the excitement. It appears that there is a contingent, an entire phalanx of Sidon soldiers with beautiful hoplon shields and long spears that are blocking off, almost like riot police, the access to the rock. Behind them, perched partially in the water, is this massive silver dragon. Dismounted from it currently, you see Commander Gaius off down in the distance, barely through the rain, and chained to the rock, see Kyra. As he seems to be already starting to address people. His voice carries booming and being echoed back and forth through this canyonous area.
People of Astoria! We were going to sacrifice the daughter of your drunken king to satisfy the Lord of all.
The rain is coming down, and you see that there's this young woman that is being pushed forth and kind of manhandled by two guards as she's being thrown into the dirt and just behind the phalanx.
But one of your false gods has stepped forth to show that she is beneath Sidon. Sidon.
He points towards Kyra, who just has her head down, the curly hair matted to the front, her toga just clinging to her body.
Let her go.
As he points towards Honora. As she's being kind of helped back up, the phalanx kind of parts and she gets to go forward. The instant that happens, out of the cloud cover, Pitor just lands right in front of her and just grabs her as he's just holding her, looks at all of the phalanx soldiers and just grasps her tight and flies upward to land in one of the higher precipices off on the distance as he's just holding her. And she's,
his daughter?
Yeah.
Oh.
And she's just weeping into his shoulder as he's weeping into hers.
Today will mark the beginning of change. For today, you will see that those who worship Sidon triumph over the false gods.
As he holds out his hands, one of the human soldiers walks up next to him and kind of presents some kind of a sword to him. As he looks at it, he actually shakes his head with a smile on his face as the soldier kind of bows and walks away. Then returns from like some kind of a table where a bunch of weapons have been laid out, bearing what seems to be this massive glaive with some kind of obsidian bladed edge. As he just grabs it, nods.
Today, you are going to see a god die.
None of us are close enough to help.
You guys are hundreds of feet up. You guys can certainly try to push closer if you guys want to.
Could we start a riot?
How do you try to do that?
What I'm thinking is that, like, he's putting on a show, so he's putting the power in the crowd, right? So if we can turn the crowd against him, I feel like that would help. And two of us can charm people, so we can charm a couple people in the crowd.
I can start a riot, you know, with my channel divinity. How many people are around me if I get into like a middle of a crowd?
Just imagine like a maxed out squares, like it is really shoulder to shoulder to shoulder.
I was gonna say my emotions, it's after any type of rest. So I was gonna say after we took that short rest, it was definitely there's no more flight, and now we are on the opposite spectrum of Lyra's emotional abilities.
Cool.
So she can also charm people, but I don't think that's what she's prioritizing. I think Lyra would try to get as close to the front as she could.
I want to get to the front and then use my channel divinity of Dragon's Wrath, so I can try and also hit some of the soldiers, but also the commoners.
Are we trying to go incognito or not? That's the most important thing.
I think. Okay. Does the crowd look like it wants this to happen?
That's true.
What's
the vibe?
All of you guys go ahead and make me insight checks.
So good at those.
Yeah, you're most insightful players in here today. Ooh.
Oh, I got a 16.
Yeah, we are a low wisdom party on average.
Lyra and Rhodas.
Except for that guy, apparently.
Both on +0s.
Lyra, because you're in a vulnerable spot right now, you can kind of tap into some of the emotions and just read them passively as they're going on about you. And what you see is a lot of dread, trepidation, but there's a tinge of elation. And Rhodas, you can see it. There are people who spit as they look up at their impotent king standing upon this pillar, holding his daughter, watching his sister about to be sacrificed. They're cursing him. You hear some people saying, at least this way we're finally going to be able to grow our crops again. Look at the rain that Sidon already brought.
I was about to say, is it like we don't want this god to die, but also this means no more sacrifices?
100%. And so
I think they're waiting for a new champion.
And Rhodas, that is also when something else occurs to you. Sidon has Astoria by the throat. By being able to manipulate the weather, starve its people. They've been under this yoke for so long now. That you were certainly plan A. You just innately kind of see the puzzle pieces fall together as you just go, this is what Kyra wanted as an alternative. For if Sidon is pleased and appeased, maybe that way, at least the people will stop suffering.
Do I get this too? Or is that a Rhodas connect the dot?
Rhodas kind of catches it a little bit sooner. You're just kind of like too hung up on the fact that so many people are almost excited that it might be over.
Rhodas is upset that he isn't enough to satisfy Sidon. Rhodas is upset that he isn't enough to satisfy Sidon, and he will say, will announce, make way for Thylia's chosen. And he will not draw his sword, but he will try to try to glow a little bit. Try to set
they're like Jedi younglings around you. Yeah, I get you. As your sword glows a little bit.
Yeah, we're not going to go in incognito. We're making an entrance as Thylia's chosen to be present at the sacrifice.
What's he doing? What are you doing, Ro?
I'll make our way down.
I think we should challenge them to the fight.
Oh, that sounds like a bad.
Are you triggering your?
Would send Mossy and ruffle some feathers.
Triggering anything? We're just gonna We're gonna be present for this. That's what we're gonna do.
All right.
Okay.
In this
How
case,
far
Rodus,
do you
as
think
you
I am?
step forward, you guys are still like easily. Let me double check on that distance.
I don't need to get super close. I only want to be 120 feet from Kyra.
Yeah, let me double check. I'm gonna guesstimate you guys are about 200 feet away where you guys are currently at.
Cool.
As this is like a crowded concert kind of situation, with like shoulder to shoulder people. Rodus, make me an intimidation check. As you start stepping forward, trying to tell people.
Make way! Make way!
As people kind of look towards you and it's just like, ah, shut up! If you were the light of Thalia, this all could have been avoided, eh? And people are just kind of like pushing back, and you're kind of like, no, you don't understand. Just let me go. And this like back and forth as you guys have been hearing the echoing, as you guys have been kind of contemplating and talking with each other. It's like, what should we do? Suddenly, there's just silence. As you guys kind of like get calm, the people kind of shoving you back, Rodus kind of stop too, as everybody now looks down the pathway. You see Kyra upon her knees, bent over, neck sticking out. Gaius with the black obsidian bladed glaive up in the air. He must have said his last words. And he's about ready to strike down.
This isn't right. We have to stop this. She's our friend.
Alright. You cast Dragon's Wrath. Alright.
Oh, no.
Describe what that looks like, Brisa.
So that one, I'm just trying to like start like people to like get out of our way. So but it's just basically, she'll like start growing and she'll like have like a persona of like a dragon for just like the minute that it's happening, so that it's almost like there's like a dragon surrounding them, and she's just like glowing really, golden, almost similar to Rodus, when he's raging.
I'm gonna roll a group check for this one. As you just like, and it kind of goes forth as people like, what? And then as that kind of like echoes through the hall, Gaz kind of stops for a second as the silver dragon rears itself up to its full height. As that cacophonous thundering sound just absolutely has everyone cowering, dropping to their knees except for you guys for a second.
Oh, I'm totally coward, but yeah.
And almost in that like little moment after that, as with one fell swoop. That was a success on the group check. They succeeded against it. And the glaive cuts cleanly through Kyra's neck. And that is where we're going to leave it off for this week.
Holy shit.
So many ways as a DM that you see things go, or potentially not go, or things that you don't even foresee that happen, and
the dice weren't with us. Like, they just, yeah.
Can we just undo everything that happened and then?
Yeah,
Lyra
we're just gonna record it. It's fine.
Instead?
We'll be back
Lyra
tomorrow. That's all
I
good.
mean, you guys
can
are all
we
a little young
retcon
for Who's
and
Shot
just-
JR, but this was all a dream, right?
Lyra will just die instead. Just
I took
Right
the
on
Lutheria green gaslighting to the next level. Fuck.
It's awkward. We just lost our
The
campaign
whole
guide.
thing is just Kasaria's fever dream as she's lying in the sand.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we never did get Aesop to take a look at her. Oh well.
Well, a couple things that I definitely want to say at the end is Ephraim, you've been great. Your puns will definitely kill
thanks for
me.
helping us.
here towards the end of the year, but until then, they incredibly bright up my night. Thank you so much for joining. That was a fantastic character. As we will have Justin back next week to play Casaria and unravel some of the mysteries surrounding what the hell is going on with her.
Thank you for being here to watch me kill a god. Thanks for that.
Sometimes it's a Greek tragedy, right? That said, all of you guys who are currently watching or watching the VOD after the fact, thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's even in the hard moments when the dice don't tell the story that we ideally want to have, the Marvel story where everything is awesome, there are jokes every once in a while, like that tragedy, that the consequences sometimes. It's just this is to me at least, and I don't know about you guys, but this is what makes D&D so fucking phenomenal, as opposed to like a video game where it just switches into easy mode and you're gonna be handheld and it's gonna be great. And it is.
I'm a wreck right now internally, a mess. So
I have been brooding over Kyra's thoughts for the last week, Tyler. The last week, I've just been like,
this whole week I've just been like, I can run, I can hide, there's tents everywhere, I can Misty Step, I can divert.
You
if I
saying
could
that
just
now makes me
lose
think of Rick and
him.
Morty. You can run, but you can't hide, bitch. Sorry, that's just the Rick and Morty reference on that one. But
I'm just like, I have all these things that I can try and do to distract this dragon so I can get us away from here. And, yeah, none of that happened.
If only you died instead of the NPC.
I'm cool with it. Let's do it. Let's go back.
I think it was the most dramatic it could have been. I think it was great.
Yeah, right at the end, I think that Peter's words are really ringing in Rhodus' ears about not taking oaths, as Kyra is killed, but he knows that the oath that we took to save Enora has been fulfilled, that she was not harmed. Yeah.
Also, you want to be crushed? Because I wasn't going to try and do anything diversion-y, savey. I was just trying to get close enough so that I could message Kyra and tell her that I was going to fix this.
If we had gotten down there, I probably would have tried to call my hammer and challenge Gaius and called him like a coward for like killing a defenseless thing and like not willing to actually fight for his battles. That was the strategy. Maybe
if I had gotten close, I would have probably tried to suggest Gaius, but that's like 30 feet close. I was just trying to get close enough to talk to Kyra.
Yeah. Well,
we'll go from here, I guess.
This is the story now. The chosen ones, the light of Thalia just dims for a little bit, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't get lighter and brighter down the road.
Lyra's pissed. She's gonna kill Gaius now, though. That's for sure.
As a DM, I can't wait for that. I love creating evil DMs, NPCs that are fun to kill. You know what I mean? It's just satisfying a little bit. It's like it just tickles that little dark side of you that you never address.
Yeah. This guy's kind of like the bad guy in an 80s action movie where it's like you're so over the top annoying that it's just going to be a pleasure to watch you die.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
I'll be the one to cut that thread.
Oh yeah, that is a good finisher. That's a good finisher for Lyra. It's like, finish him, and you just cut the thread. But anyway, everyone watching, thank you guys so much. We'd obviously appreciate it if you guys followed us to see how the story develops from here. It's been an amazing ride. These people have been absolutely beautiful to play with and tell the story together with. And everybody in chat, when you guys throw things out and remind us how rules work, like, it helps tremendously. So keep doing that. As
Word
a reminder,
of mouth as well.
Yeah, seriously. And before I forget, if you guys have subscribed with your Twitch account, with your Amazon Prime, don't forget that probably has run out by now. As a reminder for those of you that are tuning in for the first time, you can actually use your Amazon Prime to subscribe for free. It's included because Amazon owns everything, literally, Prime citizen. But they do own Twitch. So with that, if you guys want to subscribe with that, we'd obviously sincerely appreciate it. With that, take care of your chosen family out there, as we
and
do
watch
with
the
these
PvP
people.
tomorrow.
and watch the PvP. I felt too. Oh my god! And like and subscribe towards the end anyway. But
it's gonna be our catharsis after tonight.
Lyra's gonna actually kill a bunch of shit tomorrow, so don't.
I'm just gonna switch the tokens real quick on one of their characters to be Gaius and just really fire you on. I'm just kidding. Oh shoot! All right, with that. Everybody stay safe. Tell people that you love them, and don't make any oaths to gods. That is a promise you guys have to keep to me. But with that, you guys stay safe. We'll see you later. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.